Welcome everybody to a interesting kind of fun episode of Matt and Mike's X Files CCG. We got another guest here. We are basically here today to discuss Blackwood. Blackwood was an idea that it was me and Dax kind of came up with this. As far as making movie, a set for the actual movie itself. And I still remember, the times that I'd send Dax a thing, hey, I want this card in this title. Can you get this photo? And then he'd send me like 8 different photos and be like, oh, number 4. So we've been kind of working on this for quite a while. But we're to the point now with the game being play tested that I wanted to bring all my friends in here and talk a little bit about it today, as far as some changes that need to be made and some ideas, possibly even removing some of the cards as we kind of want to whittle the number of cards down. So with me is, of course, Dax, all the way from New England. Good evening, I guess, right?
Original England.
Old England.
Fair enough. We got Guillaume here all the way from France. Thank you for making some time. Dave as well, and Nathan. Welcome, gentlemen. I think we all probably have some notes, right? Things we want to talk about with some of the cards. Yeah. So who'd like to kick us off? Do we want to start with maybe agents? Are there any issues that we're seeing with the agents?
I think let me pull up David's spreadsheet since he's not here.
Oh, you got the magic spreadsheet. Oh, I just wrote everything down on paper like an old man.
Well, he was keeping track of, and maybe Guillaume has this too. He was keeping track of, cards we had played, and a few of the changes we had talked about. And Mike,
I kept some notes. Yes.
Do you have access to this too? I'll link it in the chat.
So for Agent King, there was nothing that we felt needed to be corrected on the card, so that one was perfectly fine. For Agent Rankin, maybe we suggested adding once per turn you may remove a token, as opposed to being able to remove both of his tokens during the same turn.
I had something I was looking at with Rankin as well, is to make him a little more appealing. Is what happens if you bump his observation down 1, his science up 2, and now he's got the ability to investigate a single site by himself with his tokens.
Which is why maybe I think only being able to remove 1 token during each turn is that I think that's why we came up with that suggestion, because we felt maybe a 3 RP agent should not be able to investigate a site by himself.
I mean, I wouldn't mind pushing him to 4. I did see that was the one complaint that I had, because he seemed like he's gonna, like, sciences is like, oh boy, he can pass a what no, I can't even remember which one that is.
3.
Yeah, 3, which is really not helping much. It doesn't really do much. That's why when I looked at him, I'm like, I wasn't gonna add him into my deck when I played you, Nathan. I had Michaud, I had Cassidy, and that was it, because King was very just specific. It was like a non-weapon equipment card, and it's like, you know how much I love equipment. So I usually just burn it for CP. So it's something that I was really not. He wasn't really very overly attractive. Cassidy I liked her, but she's pretty much a filler agent. She has that one good ability, but it's once. So I don't know how often I had Cools. Didn't like Cools at all. Just as a filler agent, I'm thinking maybe if you bump the cost down a little bit and maybe make him like a Kaleka/Kresge fill-in, maybe that would be a little more attractive, because then you can always put him on a team with somebody that just basically has to fill it out. But him being 2, I mean, it's 2 is 2, but I would figure his medical would be a little higher.
That was one thought that I had when I got the updated Cools card, because this was actually one of the first agents, I think, maybe even the first agent that we made for this set. And he has Alien Investigation 1 still, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he does.
Yes.
And the thing about it is, like, Was he really doing that? Like, I don't know if he should have the alien investigation skill check. So what if you remove the alien investigation and dropped him down to 1? Because then he'd only have 2 skills, medical, obviously, and observation 1, and then he could be more like a Kresge type.
Yeah.
So I would think you could drop the alien investigation, leave him at 2, because a 2 RP agent that also generates 1 res is pretty incredibly valuable.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And it's also good because it does have 2 medical, and depending on which team you want to build, sometimes having that 2 RP agent, which can also give you 2 medical, it can also be good.
Plus a bureau search ability. I think you could drop the AI and leave him as is on his other skills, and he would still be pretty freaking good.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, because he does get to go ahead and get that healing, and he can play it for free.
Right.
But really, you're only looking at what's your high value crash cart? What, 4?
Yeah.
What's the other? Yeah. So it's like, and you can still play it for free, which is nice, but it's like a one and done. You're not gonna really one breath him. I mean, no, not one breath him. Nurse owns him. Nurse Kresge.
Well, actually, in that expansion, there is the against all odds event cards, and it's a healing card, and it costs 5.
Oh, okay, fair. Oh, that's right. That's right. But you can't burn it for CP. That's the one thing that, yeah. I do like that one. That one's actually pretty nice. I like the balance of not being able to sell it because, it's not you're basically getting an agent out of the hospital for free, which is really for 5, but still.
The thing that we did note about coolest effect is that maybe we should add show the card to your opponent, because as it currently reads, it's like you can search your bureau deck and just if you don't show the card to your opponent, you're just relying on people trusting you to play that specific card for 0 cost.
Oh, I was thinking that you had to play it instantly. Like when you went and searched it, you'd have to
play it.
Oh, okay.
It's usually the way it says, but currently it's like search your bureau deck for any 1 card and you may play this card for 0 cost, but it doesn't say immediately, so.
Yeah, that's a little problematic. It should maybe instead of you may play this card for 0 cost, it should say you must play this card by the end of this turn for 0 cost or something like that.
I like that.
What we suggested was show the card to your opponent, add it to your hand, or play it immediately for 0 cost.
Okay, so you can keep it in your hand, but if you don't play it that turn, then you'd have to pay for it in full like next turn.
Yeah, it's either you draw it and you play it immediately, or you add it to your hand, and then when you decide to play it, you play full cost.
I actually really like the restriction that you have to play it immediately.
Yeah, I kind of like that too. Yeah, something.
Yeah, yeah.
That means if you're gonna burn that, you have to burn it during your to get crash cart, for example. If you're gonna burn that, you got to burn it during requisition.
Yeah, exactly. Or like what's the card I'm thinking of?
Crash cart goes straight in the hospital though, doesn't it? So it does. There's no requisite. No, well. The question is, can you like activators maybe say something along the line? Because that's the thing is, if you'd search for crash cart and you can't play crash cart, it's very situational at that point. But if you could play crash cart during off time, like not requisition phase, because it goes in the hospital anyway, right?
Yeah. I think the crash card I think you just play during requisition and then you just place the card in the hospital.
Right.
Yeah. But does it have does it have the activator hospital?
Or requisition? I don't know. Is it truly requisition?
Well, you can only do equipment during requisition. I mean, unless the card says otherwise, but.
Yeah, that's true, because even the field ones from Fight the Future, we still got that.
So the activator is hospital for hospital crash card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that it should probably be use that turn or burn. I like that a little bit better. Just being able to put basically any healing card in your hand and then be able to use it later, and that's pretty powerful considering all the other stuff that he's got going on. But
I mean, it could also be useful before combat, for instance. If you think that maybe Coolest will be targeted, you can use his effect to draw the healing card and just keep it in your hand for later if you need. So I don't know. I have to say, kind of like the giving the player the possibility of either playing it immediately or just keeping it for later if they choose to do that. But again, it only costs two RP, so
yeah.
I don't know.
But I think
are we doing votes right now? Is that yeah, I don't know. I mean, considering he's two RP and he's a res 1 and the effect's pretty awesome.
So are we making him res 1 then? Oh yeah, res 1. Yes, res 1. Sorry.
But we were thinking about taking the alien out of there and just
yeah. I think we all agree on removing the alien part, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then just do it like a blue plate special, right? Draw 1 if it's playable this turn. You could do it for 0 cost. Otherwise, it disappears or it goes away in the trash.
Well, yeah, but the only problem is since you're looking for a healing card, the only ones you got either combat healing cards like first aid or, well, you do have some healing cards out there like ceremony and stuff like that can be played. Is that that's a keyword healing? Yeah. Ceremony. You can probably go get ceremony with it if you got a bunch of believers on your team, which isn't bad. And you get to play it for free, which is a 5. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. There are also quite a few healing cards in the season 4 expansion.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe he's okay. But yeah, I didn't see a lot of use for him unless you're going with a purely like a medical deck because he's got a little bit of observation. He's got a little bit of medical, but you're looking. Now the added bonus of him having a token is always nice. So
yeah, I mean, I would play. There are a lot of games where I'm looking for a 2 RP agent to just throw in there, and I think he fits. The bill.
Just throw manners in there because everyone loves manners.
Yeah, when I'm not interested in witness shenanigans.
Well, who isn't? Everyone loves witnesses.
So yeah, what do we want to do with that effect?
I quite like the idea of show the card to your opponent, add it to your hand, or play it immediately for 0 cost. I think that's.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that sounds quite good.
Okay,
right.
I'm on board if you guys think it's a better effect. So
I like it.
Okay.
So remove his AI skill.
Yep.
And then just tweak that game effect a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's King and Rankin. That's King and
Cools.
And Cools.
No changes to King, right?
No
changes.
I
didn't like him over, but that's not my thing. It's somebody I think he's a little, but it's good option to have. You got a 4 agent. He does 2 res. He's got ability to do some subterfuge, which is nice. He's got observation, so he's got skills, and then it's just his +1 thing to a non-equipment or non-weapon equipment. So it's like it is very particular and like a very specific thing that he's going for. So you could build around him.
That's it. Build around. It's a little weak, but they're not all going to be winners.
Oh no. But
all right. Any other agents that anybody has any notes about?
So what was we mentioned Rankin initially, and then moved away from him.
Mine was the odds of either A, making him a 4 agent and then bumping his observation down to 1 and his science is up to 2, making him a potential 1 site visitor as long as he uses his 2 tokens on individual turns. So he could go to a sciences 4 because he adds the bonus. He could go to criminal or evidence collection 4. So he makes himself kind of like he's a 4. He lines himself up with like Hosteen and Bruckman, where they've got their 1 skill and a cool token. But this guy could go and visit 2 sites over the span of 2 turns by himself, which is kind of nice. But I would bump him to 4 for that.
Yeah.
I think to me sometimes when deciding on how powerful an agent should be, we should also maybe consider how important the character is in the show.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's all.
To me, like Hosteen, or it's a pretty important character, even though he's not in a lot of episodes. Whereas Rankin is not someone that you think about, and it's without talking about the skills. To me, it seems like a 3 RP agent, a minor character. So.
How dare you call Jerry LaManna a minor character?
I know.
And to be fair, he can already potentially investigate evidence collection
Yes.
by
Right.
himself already.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but his science is, it just doesn't seem like it. A, you would never use it. So it's like, for me,
I don't know
would,
about that.
I don't know. I mean, well, him going for just like, you want to just for one turn add on this sciences. So he goes, sciences 3. All right, great. Yeah, sure. Maybe you have some sciences sites out there. Maybe you augment somebody else who's already strong in science. But
That's it. Or
yeah,
weak
it's like,
in science. Because
well,
then
yeah, but
just
you
take
wouldn't really
away.
put it next to him anyway. It's because he's only got one science.
But sometimes it can just be useful if you're not going to be investigating sciences sites, but you have a card like unexplainable time loss, and you do need to have that one skill check.
True, but yeah, then you're just sitting on it waiting forever for the unexplainable time loss to hit.
Or
If you want to investigate a mono sciences site, he pairs nicely with Krychek, Colton, and Mobox, who all have one science. And I'm sure there are others too that I'm forgetting, but yeah.
So Steven is in the live chat, so he did put some comments. All right.
I always put the live chat to the side. Everyone can see what's going on.
So Steven says, leave the alien investigation in for my coolers.
It's been voted on. It's done.
There's not. To be fair, though,
David,
the main characters from the movie, obviously Mulder, Scully, Krychek, Skinner, all those guys, there's plenty of alien investigation already in there. There's not really any character in the movie, you know, a small character like, you know, Cassidy or Mashad that have the alien investigation, have anything to do with it. I mean, like, honestly, like one of the dudes in the control thing at the end of the movie has more alien investigation skills than any other character you come across outside the main cast. So I don't know if it should be forced in for the sake of just shoehorning it in because no one else has it. I think realistically, no one had it. So it's not anything that we have to force in, I don't think.
I don't know. I think Steven is just a little bit too hung up on this alien investigations things. It's like it's something important to him.
Well, I don't think we're ever, like, I can't conceive of a scenario where we would ever play a Fight the Future expansion only game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always going to be paired with the commercially released stuff at least.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, there are a lot of AI sites, I think, in the expansion, right? I can't remember off the top of my head, but
there are a few. And let's be completely honest here. I mean, no offense. I'm old school fire department myself. Okay. But I'd be hard pressed to find a firefighter who has anything to do with any alien beings. I mean, I don't know.
Spoken like someone who's actually an alien.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
That's exactly what I would say.
So with ranking, is his ability to exercise his game effect twice too generous then for a?
To me, it is. I would say for a 3 RP agent, maybe only
maybe
limiting
one.
is I'd say once per turn, but that's just my personal opinion.
I have no opinion on it. I think I could go either way.
Yeah.
So if you guys feel strongly, I would say let's do that.
Like I'd say for 6 RP agents like Pendrol, just remove as many tokens as you want during the same turn. Maybe for lower agents, maybe limit it to 1 token per turn. But again, it's a matter of personal taste.
I'm on board with that.
That's fair. Yeah, he was not in my deck that I played, Nathan. I got the purple ones for those guys. I did have King in my deck, even though I said I normally wouldn't pick him, but I think it's because he's a res 2, and he actually does have a lot of 2s. So with him having a lot of 2s and skills, I used him quite frequently. So, Michaud, he's a home run. He's a home run. I think he's a home run. I love the idea that if he's in the field, he's given conspiracy. I like his 3 res if he's sitting in the bureau, but I usually throw him in the field just because you and I played, Nathan, that was what we did a lot. We both had him, and he's contributing ton to the conspiracy pool, and that was really helpful.
Yeah.
Who's that? Is that Michaud?
Yep.
Michaud.
Oh, good, because I mean that one's been given out as a promo card already, so I don't really want to be making any changes.
Yeah.
No, that was perfect. That was my first card I picked out of the set when I decided to build my playtest. is the playtest deck is I built around him. And so I built around him. And then I tried to add as many I could for our playtest. And then I threw Cassidy in there as well. I did like her ability. And she is a 1 res, but it's and she's good with bureaucracy, and I think she's fine. I think she does.
Yeah.
For 3.
The one thing that we did note about Cassidy is that it currently says that the 2 chosen agent may not contribute to the same skill checks until the end of your opponent's next turn, and we feel that should be changed for the remainder of the turn, because otherwise
it's 2 turns. Yeah, which I agree with you on that. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we had trouble remembering that too.
Yes.
I forgot it. I failed a skill check because of that. So it makes the game a little easier on the mind, just to make that change.
Okay.
All right. That takes care of the agents, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I think so.
Okay. Cool.
Who's next?
Well, let's get into a little bit of meat and potatoes. I have some event cards that I found problematic as I was.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all like, yeah.
Let's go events. I got events. I'm looking through events. There we
go. Let's see.
All right, there's our.
So let's start with a step closer to the truth.
Okay.
This one, it made me really kind of. I think the problem that I had with this card, so I'll just read it to you. It says, play this card in your bureau. After successfully resolving a fight the future site, place the card under this card, blah, 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 blah. If we're going to specifically say a fight the future site, wouldn't we have to add FTF or fight the future as a keyword to those sites?
No, I think it's because, I think we went with FTF just because there was not any room left on the card, so just to save space. And I think it makes sense, because it does say above the side cards there is the episode title, so it says episode Fight the Future. So I think, to me, it seems pretty clear that it's sites from that particular expansion that
they're all green.
Yeah,
it's very easy to tell that they're not green, they're not blue, they're not that gray. It's green.
I have to say that I'm partial to that card because that wasn't my suggestion. So
the wording on it, I mean, I just threw that in just to get the card done. That it's the wording itself can be tweaked, but I think the thinking behind the card the game effects is probably what needs bottoming out. How I fit the text in, we can do that towards the end. But I think in principle, I think it's a great way of trying to get people to use 4 specific site cards from this set. I think it's really clever.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do like the idea of it. It's very gimmicky, but it's that's the show, and the show's a gimmick in its own self. So it's like having that 0 cost to go, hey, I got it. Let's see if I can do it. It's every once in a while, it's kind of cool. Can you hit that green with that garden rake? Yeah, sure you can. Somebody's going to remember you for it because you did it. So it's kind of fun. Yeah.
And actually, during playtest, I managed to successfully play that card twice. So it was actually useful.
Nice.
And the only thing that maybe we could add the keyword evidence collection to that card, maybe just to make it easier to use some of the agent's effect, like Agent Hayden from season 4. You can use her token to search for an evidence collection card. That way, you don't have to rely on you randomly drawing it. You can actually use some cards or some effects to actively search for that specific card in your deck, because it only works if you manage to get it into play early in the game.
Yes, and successfully resolve those sites. Those sites can get, if you're stopped at those sites are garbage now. So, yeah.
Two minor language tinkers here. Should we say after successfully investigating instead of after successfully resolving?
Yeah, maybe it would be.
I agree. Yeah.
Best.
I agree. I like that.
And then the other one was, we say 4 different Fight the Future sites. So does that mean 4 differently named sites?
Yes.
Or just 4 sites total.
There's such a small pool of Fight the Future sites. I mean, right now, I would still say just as long as it's a Fight the Future, it can. I don't know. I mean, that's just me. I think that let's not make it harder than it needs to be.
The thing is,
I would agree with that too, because they're not being played at the same time, obviously. So I mean, it's
how many times do we go to Dead Horse, Alaska? A lot.
Right.
We go to Dead Horse a lot. So if I went to Dead Horse twice, I think I resolved it twice. So
I think we could probably just get rid of the word different there, right?
Yeah.
all right. Next one on my list, I just wanted to talk about maybe rewording it a little bit. It just seemed a little crazy. Was the Buzz Miho card?
Yeah. I didn't like
How
that
do
one
people
as
feel
much
about that
either.
one?
I like him better as the witness, but
so I was going to say I like him better as at an event.
Attach this card to an agent in the hospital. When the agent is deployed to the field, their skills are reduced by 1 until the team either successfully investigates a site or makes a subterfuge 4+ skill check. What if they deploy him from the hospital to the bureau?
When the agent is, well, we could just say when the agent is redeployed or when the agent leaves the hospital.
Okay.
They'll usually always go to the field or the bureau or whatever.
Yeah, but that would be one way I can think of off the top of my head to get around that rule.
Yeah.
So so maybe when the agent leaves the hospital or is redeployed, whatever is shorter for the game effect.
Yeah, because when I was looking at this card, I was basically saying I would probably never play it because you play it on a guy in the hospital, he sits in the hospital for a while, he comes out, he has no skills, but as long as if he's a little agent that's not really, I mean, a little agent, big agent, whoever you put him on, if you throw him on a big team, they're going to investigate a site and this is just going to go away.
Yeah.
So whether or not you got your oomph out of it, now if you have subterfuge 4, he's immediately gone, so you're just not going to play it on a subterfuge heavy team. But he pretty much will go away and do nothing other than negatively affect one agent for 1 turn while he comes out of the hospital.
Yeah.
So
maybe we could maybe reduce his cost
From 4 to 3. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And also what we need to have is add the keyword resource to that card since he's going to be attached to the agent.
Yes, I would too, because he's going to be attached.
Yep. Yeah, I like that. Cost 3, resource keyword.
Steven says too, like him better as an event. I agree. I think we're keeping him as an event, right?
Yeah, and I didn't like the idea of the event or the witness in general. He was somebody I accepted, but I think the event worked better.
Okay.
All right. Go to another one here real quick.
There we go. Got rid of a card, right? Buzz Miho witness is done.
Yes,
oh yeah, no, we're all
all right. Let's go ahead.
Covert government train. Play to move any 1 token controlled by an opposing player to another location. You must use this token immediately or it is discarded at the end of the turn.
I liked the card. The only issue that I had with it is how often can you use a token you've stolen on not your turn? Yeah. Because all your agents, if you put it on your own agent, the tokens they use aren't really, they're always used on your turn. You use your tokens unless there's anybody out there that doesn't do that.
I think maybe if you put it on, like for instance, you can put it on Cassidy or even on Bonekesi from the Scully set. They have game effect tokens that can be used during your turn as a conspiracy player.
That's true, but it's very specific for what it does. And that's why I would whether or not I'd actually play it. Now, question is whether or not would you play it with a purple?
What do you mean play it with a purple?
Make it a purple versus just a straight up conspiracy.
No, actually, I think it's great because even if you can't play it immediately, they're
you just steal it. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's the thing is you could just steal it. I would just mailman, but that's just me. Because because mailman and steal it. At least you can use it in the future and it costs less to do it.
But for the mailman, you do have to put it on one of your cards, and you cannot take that card above the limit of tokens.
True.
With covered government train, you can just pay the 5 and just get rid of one opponent's token without limitation.
Yeah, but it's usually by the time I mailman anyway, I've already either used my hosting,
That's
my
true.
and my molder or whatever. Because you can steal it from anywhere and put it anywhere. It doesn't care where it is. It's a token. So
but it also means that maybe if, let's say, you start the game and you are the conspiracy player immediately in the first round. If you have covered government train, you can play it immediately to remove hosting's token.
True, but
and you don't have to wait until the investigation phase, because the investigating player usually uses hosting's token
right away
before the investigation.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a way to get rid. It is situational, but it's like you can use it to get rid of the token altogether, or put it on one of your cards that you can use. So
I did like the idea of using it as something to take it off of like another card that you didn't want them to have it.
Could you use it to take a token off of Detective Manners?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. I think we have that then, don't we?
Yeah. And should be the one word that is not confusing me, but maybe instead of maybe to another location, maybe to another card.
Agreed.
Yes. Yeah. Another. Yeah.
And if okay.
Because it's Okay, good. Yeah. I like the idea of the card. It was just I didn't know if there's much you can do on the opposite player's turn. So it's like when I couldn't use any of my stuff. I like to steal it and put it in hosting.
Yeah, and also I think even if there aren't that many cards that we can use that specific cards for now, with all of the expansions that are coming, then maybe this will be more useful down the line.
Yeah.
So what's the consensus at making it a activator of conspiracy or active? Is that, or will it just stay as a conspiracy card?
My vote for a specific reason is to leave it as a conspiracy, because it's not only situational and there's some fun things that you can do with it, but if you make it both of them, then you're opening up. It's not cost appropriate at that point, because I mean you have Nurse Owens and stuff like that already has that effect. You've already got that game effect if you want to put that in your deck. Plus, for what it does, somebody could just put that in their deck as an easy cost just to burn it.
I agree.
So
that's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Sorry.
So just tweak the event effect and leave the rest as it is.
Yeah. Just another card instead of location, and I think that card is fine.
I will note we did successfully use it in a playtest game to steal my Agent Cassidy token. So
that wasn't me, was it? I don't think I did.
Next one I've got. I'll get a couple more here on my list. Government ambulance.
Oh God, I didn't like either one of them.
So this card says play on an agent that is about to be moved to the hospital. Unless the agent has an escort, the agent is taken out of play for 2 full turns. At the beginning of the 3rd turn, the agent is sent to the hospital undamaged. And the biggest problem that I had with this is it does not have a keyword abduction.
Oh, I like that.
But here's the question I had with this in general. You are going to the hospital already. You are already either A, being sent to the hospital as an injured relative or whatever, or you're dead. If you're dead, you're going there. You're going to spend your turns healing and come out undamaged anyway.
So the thing is,
heal slowly.
They don't go to the hospital.
I think we made this card specifically because there was, from the Scully set, there was Agent Fuller, and his effect was that he can go with someone in the hospital. So that's why we did this card we had the idea for that card, I think, maybe to make it so there was a conspiracy card that Fuller could, actually counteract.
Well, even if he doesn't go to the hospital, that's the thing I see is he's taken out of play for 2 full turns. Well, if he's in the hospital, he's out of play for 2 to 4 turns anyway. So if he comes out, he's actually coming out in a better spot.
The one thing that I think we should remove the undamaged part. maybe.
But then he's in the hospital for way too long for six points of
Which
damage.
would make it an abduction card.
There we go.
Similar to Oubliette.
Yeah, and see that's where. But at Oubliette, you're not damaged. You're just hiding.
You're in
Oubliette is 4
purgatory, you're in
turns
limbo.
though,
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying it is 4 turns. But like in this one,
and it costs 8.
Yeah, and it costs 8. Yeah, this one says that if you're going to 2 full turns, so you're already going to the hospital, so you're already injured or hit by the deadly blur or whatever. You're hurting. That's the reason you're going to the hospital. You spend 2 full turns in the ether, and then you come out undamaged. That seems beneficial to the RP player. But
maybe it can also be used when you have those bluffs that send the agent to the hospital undamaged, but basically you send them until the end of the turn. If you manage to play that card, a government ambulance right after, then the agent is taken out of play for way longer than that. Maybe again it is situational. Maybe the cost should not be as high. I don't know.
Steven has another suggestion there. Yeah, that's an interesting one.
yeah, but the only problem with that is now you're taking, if you don't have an escort, you're never being, so if you don't have Fuller on your team, you're basically saying, haha, this card's going to kill everybody. It just, yeah.
Well, maybe usually you have to factor in the fact that whether it's bluffs or adversaries, you have to spend quite a lot of CP to send an agent to the hospital. So on top of that, you have to be able to afford the 6 extra CP for government ambulance. So I think if you manage to pay that much money, then you maybe deserve to have the agent being taken out of play for quite a long time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess so, but I mean that's why you can see my little name there, because I've already had my discussion about bluffs already. So
do you think given the fact that it can act more like an oblique card or oubliette or however the hell you say it, we should increase the cost on it because there's potential to be up to 5 turns?
But I mean, you cannot play it like you have to have played another card first in order to play government ambulance. You have to send the agent to the hospital and then you play government ambulance. Plus, you have to factor in the fact that you do have to have that card in your hand at the right time when you have played a bluff or an adversary. So I think we can keep it at 6. And
do you agree with adding abduction to it?
Yeah.
I would, because the card doesn't. He's taken out of play. He does not go anywhere. He's just nowhere. So yeah.
And actually, basically, Scully's abducted in the movie at that point. So,
all right. And then my last event. I'm sure you guys have other events. I wasn't sure if this one was cost appropriate. It's Scully Run. Play this card when an adversary card has been played on a team that includes Agent Dana Scully. Prior to combat starting, move Scully to the Bureau immediately with any previously sustained damage healed. Scully may still contribute to the site skill check this turn. I mean, how much, remind me again, how much is True Grit? Because this is basically...
It's 1.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, this is basically a Scully True Grit card.
Except it pulls her from combat, while True Grit, he actually takes the damage.
And he goes to the hospital anyway, but yeah.
So do you guys think that the 3 is appropriate for that?
And I think it's in keeping with those specific cards that are specifically written for one agent, like Dana Scully abducted, etc. So usually cost 3, I think.
Okay, cool. All right. Sweet. Anybody have any other events they want to talk about? Those are just the ones that I picked out.
So we had Against All Odds. It costs 5, and it basically said that the agent, you play it on the agent, and the agent is immediately returned to the Bureau. But we felt for 5, it would be more useful if it said that the agent can be immediately redeployed, leaving it open if you want to send the agent to the Bureau or back to the field to contribute to the site skill check. Because if the investigation is still ongoing after a combat, for instance, and there are still other agents on the team, but without the agent that has been wounded, maybe you cannot make the skill check. So if you play Against All Odds on the agent, you pay the 5 RP for it, but the agent is sent to the Bureau and still cannot contribute to the skill check. Whereas if you leave it open to send the agent back to the field, then you can still make your skill check. And for 5 RP, I think you should be able to send the agent to either the bureau or the field.
Yeah, the good thing about it is you're not leaving him in the hospital, so he actually contributes to his res resource gathering in the next round, which helps that. Yeah, but yeah, that's I think if he went back to the field, I'd almost put him at 6.
I would too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If we add anywhere in the, on the gameplay table or on any section,
because you already can't sell it for CP anyway, so making it more expensive doesn't really hurt you in that.
That's true.
I'd agree with that. The agent may be redeployed immediately and increase the cost to 6.
Yeah,
I think.
And he saves you a side question. I like it.
Yeah. So you could really spend the 6. You want to visit that site. Yeah, I'd go 6.
There it is.
I like it. All right, next.
There were 2 cards that we felt maybe were a little problematic when we played them. It's Biohazard Response Team and Evidence of Alien Virus. The thing is, since they really mirror the game effect for Unexplainable Time Loss, when we play tested, basically there were 4 turns where the turn ended because of those cards. And so I think maybe those 2 cards, maybe either find new effect for them or just remove them altogether, since we do need to remove some cards. The thing is, I think Unexplainable Time Loss, that specific mechanic, I think it's really powerful, and maybe you should not have it be used with all of the skills.
6 times? Yeah, 6 times. Yeah, I think I already having it available twice in a game already on a science light team. You're already stopping it, especially for anybody who's investigating more than one site. You investigate one site, it's kind of like a pain in the butt, but you inspect 2 sites and you're like, clunk, here you go. Ha, you're done. You can't go anywhere for 5. It's especially if you have 6 of them.
So what about what about this? Make them similar to God, I wish Encyclopedia Arvidsson was here. What is it? The card that they have to make a criminal investigation for, or they can't investigate the site.
So this is.
I'm
posting in chat here.
Hold on.
I came up with some alternative effects for these. Here, I'll post them individually so that.
Okay.
Okay,
so
I see them.
Activate conspiracy.
There's Biohazard, and I'll do it for Evidence Alien Virus too. But the basic idea here was that, okay, so we don't have this game-breaking, unexplainable time loss effect, but you can have an alternative effect that requires them to make a skill check. If they fail, they have to move an agent to the hospital of your choice, and they suffer 1 damage.
Yeah.
So they've got a way out. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Gabe.
No. Sorry. Go ahead, Nathan. Sorry.
So they've got a way out with the skill check if they can make it, and then if they fail it because they're only 3 CP, they just lose the 1 agent for the turn, and the one damage may or may not keep them in the hospital depending on who it is.
True, but the only problem with sending them into the hospital is that they can't generate the resources next turn. So even if they're in the hospital, they don't generate resources. So you really, that's especially if it's a 2 resource. You put Mulder in the hospital. I mean, granted, at that point in Alien Investigation 4, he's going to pass it anyway. But the other one, Subterfuge 4, he goes there, takes it. You're just taking out 2 cards out of my hand next turn just by putting him in there for 3 CP.
Do you think they would be better as 4 CP then, or do you not like the game effect at all?
The card that you are thinking of, Mike, is Paperwork.
That was one of them. The one that I was actually thinking of was Authorized Access Only.
Yeah.
But it's a similar effect in that you have to force the opponent to make a skill check, but it doesn't end the turn immediately. And I think that's where the huge hang up is on this card, because you're right, having 6 cards in a deck that just end a player's turn immediately is insane.
Yeah.
So if we were to keep them, I think we could keep them, but just in that kind of spirit without ending the turn immediately. So force an opponent team to make an Alien Investigation 4+ skill check if the current players, if the player cannot make the skill check, they cannot,
investigate the site, investigate this site. Maybe you have to play. Maybe you have to play this on a site versus on just random teams anywhere.
Yeah, maybe basically copy the authorized access only game effect and change it to Alien Investigation 4+. Yeah.
Which is
force an opponent team to make an Alien Investigation 4+ skill check. If they're not successful, they automatically fail the skill check for the site.
Yep.
Yeah, skill check for this site, so it doesn't completely shut you down if you're going for multiple sites.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of suggestions here. We've got David. Would this card be good to have in the future, considering we may not use commercially released cards and only use expansions? Well, we were just talking about that. I don't think we'd ever have a situation where we're just doing like Fight the Future without the...
I think that'd be too restrictive. I think having just one, even if you use just one play set, I think the fact that we play this and we like it so much.
Yeah.
Oh, get out of here! No, that's worse.
No, that's worse. No.
That costs you 7 RP, right? Or CP,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, especially since you already have that card from Deep Throat in the Scully set. Basically, it forces you to discard your entire hand and pay for, I don't know, like 3 RP if you want to keep one card.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty. We're in an agreement on that one.
So for evidence of alien virus, we have the Alien Investigation 4+ skill check, and for Biohazard Response Team, which skill are we going to be using?
Subterfuge is still okay.
Subterfuge. There's no other.
But Subterfuge is already being used for authorized access only.
Oh, that's fair.
Oh, is that I think you're right. Yeah, it is Subterfuge 4.
Well, if it's maybe medical 4+, if it's a Biohazard Response Team or Sciences.
I would take it.
Medical.
Yeah, we do medical. Yeah, that fits too, because I mean, it's a medical type situation.
It's going to hit a majority of teams because a lot of people don't have medical.
yeah, right. Yeah, so Biohazard, medical 4+, evidence still alien, but not ending the turn immediately. I like it.
Oh, and David, it says to make the game a little more challenging, we would use Season 4, Fight the Future, and Scully without Premiere. Get out of here! What are you? Are you crazy? Get out of here!
All right.
Good luck not using Langley or Frohickey or anybody else who can negate adversaries. You're out of luck. Screw you.
All right. Next on your list.
I think for events, that's all I have.
Okay.
I did have the 2 Blackwood fire departments.
Yeah, I got those sitting here too, actually.
Yeah. I really don't. I guess I think the one. Yeah, it's being the fact that it says attached to agent about to be sent. The agent must still go to the hospital, but will heal 1 extra damage per turn. That actually speeds up his recovery, which is great. But it's only 3, which is pretty beefy to get like a 5 or a 5 health agent out of the office or out of the hospital really fast, or get a 3 out of there in 2 turns.
So which version of the codes do you guys have?
I've got the 3 and the 4. So I've got.
I like the simpler one, honestly. Yes. The 4, and then the reason why is, and again, it's in the spirit of what happens in the movie, and it's the spirit of what a fire department actually does, right?
Yeah.
Somebody gets their ass kicked. The fire department shows up, bandages them up, gets them to the hospital. So they are healing some damage before they take them to the hospital.
Yeah, that's where I would put this at 3. I would change this one to 3, the one that where you just go to the hospital, but you get one damage away. You get 1 damage away. That helps you recover, but it doesn't get you out of the hospital in like 2 turns. You still have to recover. Like if you do this and like say 5 RP, Mulder's 5, right? So Mulder would go 2, and then he can come out. He come 2, he's going to come out anyway, but now he's full health for 4 or for 3, because I think 1 heal. You could do that with a 0 healing card and not go to the hospital.
That's true. Yeah.
So could you give me the full effect of the card that you have?
I have this one. It's the 4. It's 4 RP.
Yeah.
It says play to remove the damage token from an agent 1 damage token from the agent before they are sent to the hospital due to combat.
Okay.
Now they're still in the hospital. They're not in play. They're just in the hospital, but at least they healed 1, but it's 4.
Okay.
The other one was
the other combat card then, doesn't it?
But yeah.
Well, unless the combat's done.
Because it says the affected agent can still contribute to the remainder of the combat. Is that on the card that I?
Oh,
that's
a different one.
That you have?
Oh no. Yeah, that's not that one. Was the one Dax actually updated that before. I think before that came out.
I think both copies are on the same sheet.
Okay.
Yeah. The other one was attached to an agent about to be sent to the hospital. The agent must still go to the hospital, but will heal 1 extra damage token each of their healing phases. While this resource is in play, no other cards may be played on that agent. So you couldn't throw a Buzz Miho on him.
Yeah, that's why I like this. I like this version better.
Yeah. So I would drop this to 3 because I don't think it's worth 4 to just heal 1. But that's just me.
I absolutely agree with that. Healing cards are easier to get and they're typically cheaper than that.
Yep.
Yeah, because if the agent must still go to the hospital, then what's the difference between playing that I forgot the name of the card from the premiere set that you basically play on an agent in a hospital for 2 RP and he heals 1. That's the one.
Successful? Is that successful?
Yeah, successful diagnosis. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It costs 2 and the agent heals 2 damage immediately.
Yeah, so if you can do that for 2, and then this one's doing something for you, just do 4 and get 1, but you don't, and it's immediately, so he doesn't have to go away. That's the other thing. You heal him directly right there before you go, right? Or is that in hospital? Guillaume, is that
for successful diagnosis? It's if the agent is in the hospital.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's not a hey, you're playing it on someone in the field to keep them from going to the hospital.
No.
You're in the hospital. You're just healing them faster, which is nice. But it's only 2.
You look at medical treatment too. Medical treatment costs 1.
Yes.
And it immediately heals one point of damage. So I mean, hypothetically, we could almost drop this thing down to 2, and I think it would be more appropriate. But
you're just saving 1. You're just accelerating your turn by 1 turn for the three agents that are getting your things, because 4 and down is only 1 per turn, right? 5 and up is I always forget that for some stupid reason.
I know, me too.
Yeah. But we also have the season 4 card, Father McHugh, and it's play on an agent in the field or the hospital, and the agent heals 1 damage immediately or 2 damage if he has the keyword believer, and it costs 2.
I don't want to look at White Buffalo. Be quiet.
I think maybe I don't know, I think like we're trying to come up with an alternate effect for things that already exist, and maybe since there are cards that do need to be cut from that expansion, maybe it's one of those that could just be removed.
That's not a bad idea. We gotta whittle some down.
Now, Steven, I'm looking at White Buffalo because you told me to. You may remove 1 game effect token. Now that's all your weirdness. It's wound or whatever. Yes, it's for 4, but it also has the ability to do a game effect token, not just, and that's Brother Martin. That's all that other fun stuff that just put tokens on your guys. So you can take a negative token off for 4. This one is just healing for 1. That's it.
Yeah.
So take that, Steven.
Man, when he's not here, you guys get catty.
Oh, I get catty when he's here. I get a catty when he's here.
All right. We gotta whittle some down, right? Yeah. I'm on board with dumping this one.
Yes. Okay. Right. The other one I want to get rid of is this one. Sarah Tipish, get out of here.
No way.
Well, no. Just because we have to say it, you're gonna mess this up every time. Surreptitious inducement. There you go. And then the wall of text I have to read. No, thank you.
It's
Steven had mentioned doing something about burn it, and I'm not clear if he wants it taken out of the expansion or if he wants it changed somehow.
Oh yes, because it negates alien or alien investigation. Of course he wants it gone.
Yeah.
I didn't
It
particularly.
does actually
find
already
It
make
says-
sense. Yeah.
So
There's another
Just change
negating
the-
alien. Isn't that Steven, why don't you tell us? Because you've got a plethora of information in your hands. Your weird encyclopedic knowledge of this stuff. Which card are we talking about? and of course, I'm talking to the peanut gallery. Somebody want to put that up?
it's from
Oh,
season 4.
It's quiet. This came before season 4.
Oh, but season 4 is already out. So
No, that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
I kind of do agree with that. If that's going to be a duplicate card, I would probably say get rid of Burn as well.
yeah, make history. Yeah, it's from Musings of a Cigarette
Yep.
Smoking Man. Yeah.
Okay, so burn it. Are we burning it?
Are we all in favor?
Yeah.
We're going to burn it.
Yes, burn.
Or we
burn
could.
it.
We
Burn
could.
it.
Burning.
Is there
burn
one
it.
of those that does it for bureaucracy?
I thought there
Like a
was.
keyword bureaucracy card.
Actually, no, I don't think so.
Not yet. There's an occult investigation. There is one for occult and occult investigation in season 5, but I don't think there is one for for bureaucracy yet.
Maybe we do that.
But again, yeah, it's. I think we have like maybe 12 cards to get rid of.
Oh, well.
Yeah, but maybe. Oh, and season 5 has a bureaucracy one as well. Steven says.
All right, nix it.
All right, next event.
All right. Blah, blah, blah. I think that the bury the truth and the DNA metamorphosis are pretty similar. I don't have a problem with those.
What?
Bury the truth and DNA metamorphosis. They're essentially the same card. They're just basically changing your questions and keywords to motive and result.
Yeah.
For 4, but it's either you're using them for yourself to change the question, which is not bad, I guess, if you want to try to avoid certain aliens that are going to attack you on the attack aliens, because what are they affiliation? So in case you want to change an affiliation site to a motive site and a motive question, they're not bad. They're still burners. I would burn them for.
I think they mirror 2 cards that are in the Scully set.
Well, in the Scully set, I think they cost 1 less, but it's because you cannot change the keyword as well. It's only the question. Whereas on this one, it's question and keyword. So that's why they cost 4.
And then are they just RP cards in
No, they're purple cards. Yeah, but they cost 3.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with those. I don't have a problem with
Yeah.
them. A little bit of shenanigans is cool, just to go ahead and get so you can, if you're afraid of that attack alien or somebody's going to hit you with an affiliation, you can go ahead and change it to motive or result.
I mean, maybe if at the end we're still struggling to come up with cards to get rid of, maybe those can go because they are not maybe as specific to the movie as other ones. But
Fair.
I think the effect is fine. And one last, it's on one last event that I had. It's Cabal Interference.
Yeah.
And I think the suggestion was, you guys say, play to send one opposing agent to the hospital immediately, and maybe it should say undamaged.
Undamaged,
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, because considering that's just that's a section chief. What's a section chief card all over again for 5?
Yeah.
Because except you're just sending him to the hospital but this is also injured relative.
But also,
but it also negates things. Yeah, it says discard any keyword from your hand.
You can
for free. Yeah, that's nice.
Yes, that's nice.
Especially if you want to put some garbage in your hand that you don't want to get rid of.
Yeah,
and I like that. That's not bad. I like the card. I added it in my deck, so.
So send to the hospital immediately.
Undamaged. Yeah.
Anybody else have any other events they want to talk about?
The surreptitious inducement.
Serendipitous.
Are we removing both versions of the Blackwood County Fire Department?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh no, I thought we just changed we were just. Oh no, you said we already got healing cards that do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're just burning the fire department.
Yeah. Oh, poor fire department. They should be able to put that out. Okay. Let's see.
You would think.
Let me just take another look and see if I have.
The truth is still out there. Kind of always reminds me of a budget Deep Throat. Only if Mulder is sent away. Yeah, the truth is still out there. Is if he fails to investigate his site. So here's a question: could you send him to a site that he'd never be able to pass, then play this card for free. So you can send him to a site that he's never going to pass. Send him to a mono site or multi-site. Send him to a multi-site. He'll never pass that by himself. And then immediately play this for one less, and it's going to cost the same amount as a deep throat.
I think you can. You also you have to pay for the site. You have to also discard another card from another site from your hand.
Yeah, that's true.
You do risk if you do send him alone to investigate. You do risk there is a chance that there will be an adversary played on him.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, but then again,
it's like
I guess. But it's like, yeah.
I would say, if anything, we should probably raise it to 5 instead of 4. Because if you can kind of manipulate it a little bit to basically get a free question, the fact that this can't be negated and there's only one allowed in your hand.
Yeah.
I mean, in essence, you're not wrong. If played correctly, it's similar to like another deep throat card.
Yeah,
but
it's an extra deep throat. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still have to give up 2 sites to do it.
Yeah,
exactly.
and plus you don't get that X because if you send Mulder with the purpose of making him fail the site, so you don't get the question from the site. So basically you pay 4 or 5 to ask a question that maybe you could have asked if you had sent the whole team to successfully investigate the site. So
true, but there's no negation of this. There's no negation of it, and it's not like they can just ask a question out of the gate. So it's like I called it a budget deep throat, but it's actually a more expensive deep throat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, it's limited to a team that has Mulder on it. It's not like any agent.
Yep.
So I don't know. To me, it seems fine. Like it's one of those cards that is specific to certain situations and certain teams.
Plus, I'm fine with keeping. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about the cost of the site, so I'm fine with keeping it the way it is if everybody else is.
Yeah, I'm fine. I probably won't play it all that much though, because I'd still be worried about whether or not you got shenanigans in general. It's like send them to site just to fail it, and I understand you could potentially put them up against something, but it's decoy like, all over again.
It's like Krychek Possessed. If you want to play that card, maybe you can send him to investigate something that you know is going to fail. And I like that for the event, you do have the event that is specific to Scully, and you have the event that is specific to Mulder.
Fair. That's fair.
Nice.
And it's fitting for this.
We are forgetting one thing though. Mulder has 3 tokens to play sites for free.
Yeah.
So in essence, it's a cheaper deep throat if he uses 2 of his tokens.
Or he just uses 1 because he doesn't need to go to the other.
And
he's
then
just
discard.
Use 1, and then he's going to discard a card from your hand. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to pay for you cannot use Mulder's token because you don't have to pay for the card. You just have to discard the site.
No, but he has to pay for the card that he has to go investigate and fail.
Yeah, true.
So, but I would at that point I would have spent 1 resource to go there, spend the 5. You're still spending 5 to fail the site. And you could probably go and attack him. And everybody who goes to a single site alone is always at risk of being attacked or stopped or something. The Syndicate influence, I thought, that was the last of the events, other than this.
So we're
surreptitious inducement.
We're in agreement on this one. We're just gonna leave this one as it is.
I think it's fine.
You don't want to make it more expensive.
If someone's going to put it in their deck, someone's going to put it in their deck anyway, and then they're going to find a way to use it.
I know 1, so
yeah. And I know Steven and I have kind of like started leaning away from using Deep Throat in general, just solely because it's like we've run into that a few times. I know I used to use it a lot back in the tournament days, but I really kind of whatever. You're fine with it. Get out of here. Go somewhere else.
You'll like this one though. I did like this one.
Keep my play test. You know, the ones I printed out on my horrible printer over there.
We're gonna move on to Syndicate Influence.
Yeah, that was the other one. That one's a little brutal. Dumping if somebody has a handful of sites, that hobbles.
Play this card when your opponent has deployed agents to more than 1 site during their turn. Your opponent must discard all but 1 site card, your choice, which remains in play.
Oh, okay. 1 site on the table. Oh, I thought from your hand.
Yeah, and immediately return the agents investigating those discarded sites to the Bureau.
That's not bad. That fights the speed decks. It's nice.
I love it. That's a great card.
Yeah, I think. Okay, I thought it was cards in hand. I misread that, because if you had them in hand and you had to get rid of everything but one, that would suck because it hobbles you while you still have to go draw more cards. So
I did have a question about surreptitious inducement.
oh, you mean this one that we're going to throw away?
Assuming we are keeping it, is the effect of the card, is the intent of the card that all of the opponent's agents have their equipment cards discarded, or only the agents investigating that site that gave you the question?
I'd say
that's a good one.
I take it to mean any agents on the investigating team.
Yeah, I'd lean that direction too.
Yeah, I agree. We just need to add that then.
You're gonna have to like prune something.
You could say force the so play this card after answering a characteristic question. The investigating team discards all attached.
That's it.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah. I like that.
And I think that fixes that.
Yeah. So it's nice because then you can start taking big stuff off of people who decide to put a lot of equipment out there like chumps.
So you're saying it's going to say, instead of force your opponent, it's going to say force the investigating team?
Yes.
To discard all attached equipment cards. Okay, yeah, I like
because that would attack cell phones in the thing. That would attack. That would attack hospital crash cards. That would attack. I mean, like, oh my god, stop attacking all my. That's way too powerful for one.
Okay.
And then on government ambulance, did we decide that the undamaged provision is taken out? So
I thought we just dumped them. Oh no! Actually, no.
Government ambulance. We just added the keyword abducted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so.
So they go. So they still go back undamaged to the hospital.
That was the key that I said, because that was my big thing was, why am I paying 6 so that you can go into the hospital, hide for 2 turns, and then come out undamaged?
I mean, to me, you would play that card not when you have already sent the agent after combat, but when you send the agent thanks to a bluff or maybe a future event card, and the agent sends them. Yeah, for instance. And that way you can still send the agent out of play for 2 turns.
Yeah, considering injured relative, that's going to still cost you 10 to take him out for 4 turns.
Which is sometimes it's quite costly, but sometimes you pay 8 or 7 for an adversary, and if it's Mulder, for instance, he's out in 2 turns. So
that was where I thought it was when it said it undamaged, and it basically just takes someone going to the hospital. Now, granted, in the situation where you're going to send them to the hospital undamaged, that's fair. Now you've taken them out of play for a while. If they went to the hospital damaged, you've already got them coming out.
Yeah, so
you got them coming out anyway. So it's like you're pretty much helping them.
All right.
All right.
We're good.
Events are done.
Yay!
Yay! What are we going for now? Dealer's choice. What do you got?
Anybody want to talk about adversaries at all?
Sure. There's only 3 of them. That seems pretty quick.
So I think the only one that we felt needed some correcting was the weaponized honeybee. Maybe mention that this card does not initiate combat. And also, what did we write down? Maybe add that the agent may not start to heal until a healing card has been successfully played on them.
That's still beefy. I mean, you're already knocking him off. You're already sending him to the hospital. You're taking him out of play. Now you can't do a heal. Oh, yeah, it does say a healing card. May only leave the hospital when a healing card. So it's like a budget. Well, actually, it's an expensive Manitou.
So play this card to send the agents without us.
Yeah.
It's also a very.
You send the little guys.
We can reword that somehow.
You don't get your choice of agent, unlike combat. So this is always going to send the agent with the lowest health.
The lowest health. So whoever's the smallest. So your Cools or your Kaleka or your Kresge. Kresge's going to go to the hospital. Sad Kresge, and he just sits there and can't do anything. So sad, Kresge. But I like weaponized honeybee. I think it's a cool card. But it's
I think since it said the agent may only leave the hospital when a healing card is successfully played on them, so does that mean that they can still heal? But then even if they're fully healed, you still have to play a healing card on them for them to. So that's why we maybe suggested changing it to may not start to heal until a healing card has been played on them.
Yeah, but then you've just taken out somebody completely for 7. That's still pretty beefy. I mean, then again, Manitou does the same thing. 'Cause
Yeah,
the
and
Manitou
Manitou has the
can't-
potential to send more than one agent.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the Manitou actually fights somebody, though. You have a way of the only way you're getting around this is X or let's see, and it's a phenomena, so you can. I mean, so you can't use
Hell
evasive
money.
maneuvers on hell money.
And money,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's like you're literally looking at X or something else that's going to negate alien stuff, because now we've got stuff that'll negate aliens now. Which,
Would
yeah,
Skinner
I like
intervenes
these.
work for that?
So which card?
Would Skinner intervenes work to?
Yeah, I think
This one?
so. Because basically, when you play an adversary, it's like you have the option to do something before combat is initiated. So you could play Skinner intervenes,
Yeah,
for
yeah, that would
instance,
work.
or evasive maneuver, and that would work as well.
Yeah, so it's Scully run if she's the only
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But
I think the fact that the code says that you have to send the agent with the lowest health to the
Yeah.
hospital, it basically it keeps agents like Mulder and Scully safe if they are engaging with someone else.
unless you send them by themselves, and then the honeybees actually
Yeah.
take out an agent. But yeah, I like honeybees. I thought they were pretty cool. I did keep in my deck. I didn't get a chance to play them when I played Nathan. So
The one thing that confuses me is with health halved, rounded down.
Yeah,
Right.
agreed. I would just have it
Yeah.
put damage round up or something like that.
with lowest health to the health halved rounded down. So like
I would remove the with health halved part. Basically, you just send the agent with the lowest health to the hospital, and
well, yeah, considering they can't heal until you
Well, they have to
right.
take damage for the healing part to matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because half of Agent King's is 1.5 rounded down. That's 1, so he's going to be sitting in health, and he's just going to be sitting there with bee stings, sitting in the hospital with 1 health, not being able to heal until he gets his heal. I wouldn't mind him being able to heal, but you still have to play healing cards on him, because let him get out if you can figure out how to get a hold of a healing card. But I don't want him to sit there for 5 turns on hunting down a healing card.
If you have mild coolest on your team, then that's good.
That's
because
true. But yeah, the bees, I like the bees.
So what is the new effect for the honeybee? Well, what is the revised effect? If we can read it completely from start to finish.
I'm rewriting it in the chat. I'm gonna send it in just a second. You guys can see what you think of this. I'm going to actually take out the part about discarding equipment cards.
Oh, are we back to serotiptus inducement?
No.
No.
And I'm doing that because I think space might be an issue, but if it's not Dax, we can figure this out.
I like the idea that the weaponized honeybee doesn't initiate. Doesn't initiate combat. You just basically the bees attack you. You can't fight the bees.
Yeah.
The bees are all powerful. You can't defend yourself. And poor Holstein's
that happened to me a few years ago, man. Up at this camping spot we used to go to, we had like the pooing area.
Yeah.
And I just wandered over there, and I was doing my business, and I kicked something on the ground, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I heard something. And then the next thing I know, I'm running half naked down the road to the campsite screaming as all these wasps are attacking me. And I had welts all over my entire body, man. Like it sucked.
Seeing a naked Mike running through the streets probably gets sucked for everyone else.
I know, right?
So play this card to send the agent with the lowest health to the hospital to place first.
Yeah.
Okay. And takes damage equal to half their health rounded down. The agent does not heal until the card is played on them.
I'm still like stuck on the whole not letting them heal at all. I mean, I forgot Manitou. What does Manitou do? Manitou says they can't heal until healing cards are
Yes,
played.
they can. Manitou, the Manitou they cannot start to heal until a healing card has been played on them.
And that takes out more than 1. So yeah, I guess so. I mean,
yeah, I like that.
And it's cheaper, isn't it? Isn't Manitou only 6 or something?
It's only 6.
Yeah,
however, it's also got it's only going to attack. It attacks essentially. It's going to attack twice unless it's got magic combat cards that nobody plays. But So an agent wounded by the Manitou may not heal wounds until a healing card is successfully played on them. So yeah, Manitous suck, but that's why you're sitting there. You like the Calasari, you like X's, you like any
Burke.
Hey, yeah, Burke. Yeah. Always play with Burke if you're afraid of the Manitou.
The one thing that maybe I'm less a fan of for that card is that for 7 CP, you cannot target the agent that you want, and you're limited to the agent with the lowest health. And sometimes it can work in your favor, but if you want to target Scully, Mulder, Krychek, for instance, then
they have to be by themselves or with a more powerful agent.
Yeah. And so, like, if there is a team of 3 agents and 1 agent has a health of 2 of 3 or 4, then that agent will be sent to the hospital, but the more powerful agents will still be there and most likely will be able to still investigate. Yeah. So
you still lose an agent, and especially if you're not planning on heal. I mean, you could heal them, I guess. But
I think maybe it's just it's the 7 CP. I think to me it's something that maybe I would not pay for.
Yeah. So just to take out the low level agent, but then again, against the solo agent, you're sending Mulder because he's the lowest health agent away who can't heal until he's done. So if you attack, if he's getting cocky and go into a site by himself, looking at the alien investigation, Stephen, you're basically he's gonna get punched in the face by a weaponized honeybee, and he can't come out to heal.
Since you're also limited to result sites, so maybe it's either lower the cost and keep it result site, or maybe keep the cost as it is and just say conspiracy agent, for instance.
Yeah, result sites already have a beefy amount of bad guys right now. There are quite a few result ones. I know what Patnick, a team killer, killer. If you don't non-phenomena, that guy.
Make it a method site.
Yeah, I don't know. I like keeping it results so it's more specific given the cost.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that.
Okay, but I also what you wrote, Nathan, is awesome. I don't know. Do we want to?
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, because, I think that's good.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna change Honeybee to Dex. We have it in the private chat. You can see it there.
Yeah, got it.
All right. Attack Alien and Black-Haired Man.
Attack Alien's awesome. I like Attack Alien. He's pretty cool. Right. I like him.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And the Black-Haired Man.
I'm not sold on him.
This one, this was one of the first cards that I created.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I came up with it was because it was just in the movie, you sit and watch the movie. And it's just so crazy. Like, he's just like, hey, where are you taking her? Where are you taking her? Where are you taking her? And then just point blank to the head and off. He didn't even get a chance to fight back. He's just took one to the head. And that's kind of why I want to do, have that spirit in this card, I guess.
Yeah. But the thing is, he's going to be able to attack a believer while in sight, because we've already come to the point where we're not attacking teams just sitting. We've done that with that foreign operative from the Scully set, where we're like, he's not just going to attack you because you're playing an event. That's a typo. We know that's a typo. This is going to be one of those guys that fights at a site. You're there. It is a believer, but he's not limited by a site, which is pretty good. He will take out pretty much everybody. He's got a 5. So you're paying 8 to take out somebody unless you can take him out. But you can't attack him. It's easy done.
The thing is, I think for this one, I really like the fact that it is really faithful to what happens to the movie. Mm-hmm. As you said, Mike, it's like he just shoots and goes away. But I think we have to either say it doesn't initiate combat and it just deals 5 damage, or maybe we should have at least have a health rating for him, because there are always combat cards which allow players to play long-range combat when they are not usually allowed to. So we need to be able to accommodate those cards. And this also gives an out for people who want to maybe, if they're not able to negate the Black-Haired Man, they can maybe fight him using combat card.
That's a good point. Just throw 3 health on him or something.
Yeah. Or even 5 or 4. Something that maybe you can... There is still a way for you to fight back against him if you have the right combat card in your hand. Which is not likely to happen, but
Yeah.
since those cards already exist, we do need to take them into consideration.
Okay.
I mean, most of the time, people won't have that specific combat card which allows them to play a long range combat what they're not allowed to usually. So the Black Helmet will be there, will be played, he will deal us 5 damage, and he will take out Mortar or Scully or Krychek. So
Yeah, because really that he's doing it for 8. You're paying 8 to do it. Yeah, give him a health rating. Yeah, I kind of agree with that as well, because there might be a card that can get around his long range being skipped. So because right now he just comes in and punches you in the face and leaves, and he has no health. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're going to knock out pretty much every agent out there. I mean, what do we got? I mean, like what? Who's
We have to
floating around out
reword
there?
the whole thing will
Yeah.
have to be reworded then.
well, no, I think if you just the Black Helmet long range is skipped, he makes 1 close range attack and is then discarded before any damage can be assigned to him during close. So I think that's fine, but just if you give him a health rating in the case that someone has a combat card that allows them to fight long range, then the Black Helmet still has health and he can be killed maybe before close range combat happens.
Are there combat? Because I mean, specifically, it says that long range is skipped. Are there combat cards that negate the effect of this card?
I'm looking at them right now, and
if there aren't, there will be another expansion.
Yeah, aren't they in Scully?
Yes.
I thought they were
Yes.
in Scully and the season 4 set where you could do that.
No, in the season 4 set there are no combat cards, but there are some in the season 6 and season 7 expansions, and I think there might be some in the. Oh, you have fast draw. Play on any one combatant who would not normally be allowed to fight a round of long-range combat. The combatant can still have LRC. The combatant may fight 1 round of LRC as normal. So yeah, in Premier you have that card.
Which is a card that nobody really usually plays too often, but now that's
no,
not.
but
if you know these are coming, yeah, it's definitely something to put in your deck.
Yeah, and since they do exist, you have to, yeah.
I saw Steven's comment. I don't think I'm with you, Guillaume. I think just giving him a health rating is not contrary to anything in that last sentence.
No.
Yeah, he still goes away after 1 round of close range combat, and you don't. It's like you're saying that he doesn't get attacked in the first place. It's like attack is discarded before damage can be assigned. So
Maybe we could just say he makes 1 close range attack and he's then discarded, and that's it. And we give him a health rating, and yeah,
that works too.
Okay.
Health rating of what?
Say 5.
4. Well, I'd say 4. Or like, what is the health of other government adversaries similar to him, like the Mechanic or Crooked Man, for instance? Maybe we could go with that. So we have them. What is it? The Crooked Man he has a health of 5.
The Mechanic's 5.
And you also have Red-Haired Man from the. How much is he? He has health of 5. So I'd say health of 5.
5?
Yeah. So health of 5, and we moved before any damage can be assigned to him.
So now everybody else can attack him, though. He can only target believers, but everybody can attack him. We were running into that problem with.
But anybody can attack him as long as they have the right card to allow them to attack during long range.
Oh, yeah. That's fair. But right now, if you put him with 5, he's going to murder a guy anyway. It's not one's going to kill him before he's done.
Yeah.
I mean,
which is and just so you know, Dave.
Yeah.
Or wait, here, this one.
There you go.
See, Steven approves.
Oh,
and he says, is his cost getting reduced? Well, I say since he has the activator agent, even though it's believer, but there are many believer agents. Like for 8, you're basically, if the card is not negated, you're basically assured to send a powerful agent here. So if you compare that to Honeybee, which costs 7, and it's a lower rated agent.
Low agent.
So
I think it's good.
But lower is always relative, though. So, like I said, if you attack one guy, you're still sending Mulder to the hospital with.
And if you target for Hostin, for instance, he has a health of 3, but he's still really powerful. So
all right. So looks like we were done with the adversaries.
Indeed.
Sites, are we worried about sites? Because I think sites are fine. Added sites are always cool.
I think the only thing that Steven mentioned that maybe making more of the sites multi-sites, which would also better accommodate a step closer to the truth card, giving you more options to use more skills to investigate the sites.
Well, let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 sites total. And of those sites, half of them are mono sites and half of them are multis.
So maybe make the other 4 sites multi-sites, or 1 or 2 more multi-sites. But otherwise, the sites are perfect. Although maybe because we have cards like airlift in the Season 4 expansion, driving, etc., I think we do need to add the name of the states to Bethesda Naval Hospital and B-Dome, just to make sure that those cards can be played using driving and airlift.
Yeah. So Bethesda Naval Hospital, is that in Texas as well?
No, isn't it in Maryland?
I thought Bethesda was Maryland, but then again, I don't know anything about.
I think it is. I tried to Google it, but I'm not sure. I think it's Maryland.
Okay.
So like maybe add MD and
Maryland. Maryland.
Maryland.
You're already giving Dax a typo. Nice, good job.
And to be fair, I mean, wasn't the B Dome in Texas?
I think it was in. It's not mentioned, but to me it was in Texas.
Yeah, I mean, they're not crossing. They didn't look like they were crossing any state lines. It looked like they were still in the middle of nowhere in Texas. So I'd be fine with putting like B Dome, or hidden B Dome, undisclosed location, Texas, or something like that, maybe.
What do you think, Dax?
Hey, I'm just here to make the amendment.
Should we put, Stephen, do you think we should put like undisclosed location, Texas?
I'm sure we can make something up.
I think there are many sites that from Premiere, like it's just the name of whatever town this is and then Texas or so.
Yeah.
Like you get the frozen submarine or why not they change that? But I think we're fine with B Dome, Texas.
Yeah.
Tracking the killer.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay.
And look, you do have some Texas sites. You have the federal building in Texas. You have the B Dome in Texas.
Yeah.
You got the quarantine site in Texas. And then you go to Tunisia because that's
why not?
And then Bethesda, that one's Maryland. All right. Cool. All right, we're done with sites. We don't have to care about sites anymore. Get out of here, Steven.
Yeah.
We have a special guest.
Hey.
Hey.
Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, hi.
I saw you got some comics.
Did you get some comics, buddy?
It's a comic.
Some comic books? That's nice.
Comic books are cool.
Yeah. Dr. Doom. I'm pretty excited about that.
I went to the
You sure did. All right, let's keep moving.
Let's talk about these 4 combat cards.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb here, okay? Just a total shot in the dark, and say we have to reduce this, and I am in favor of dumping combat.
You know what? I'm fighting you. I'm fighting you on this because I like some of these. Hear it. Point Blank is a great card. The only question I have on it is dumping what card to add the extra oomph to it.
Yeah.
Where's this come?
So like in this case, it's a purple card, so I can play it on offense or defense. But the question is, do I dump a resource card during a resource turn and a conspiracy card during a conspiracy turn, or does it matter?
I think it should be specific. Yeah, I think that's a great question. That's the one I had that same question. So if it doesn't matter, I think it should say so on the card. And I think maybe combat card that's the one that afford the more space. So
yes, and it does look like you could do a little bit because I would love to be able to dump something. I mean, this is the only one of the only combat cards I thought would be really cool. I was like, all right, I'd put this in my deck. I would try this. Yeah.
And the other thing is I would limit it to 5 damage instead of 7.
Okay, I agree with you on that too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
7 is. I mean, well, then again, it's additional damage, and you're only attacking one person, so it's during combat rounds and assigning damage. You doing 7 damage to somebody anyway. 5 damage is gonna kill them.
Well, unless you play another card that allows you to split your damage.
That's true. That is true. So, but point blank, I saw that one. I was like, immediately wanted to add 2 of them.
Oh yeah, it's perfect, and plus that picture is amazing. Yeah, I say
worst case scenario, you burn it for 2. I know it's small, it's something, but yeah, it's very useful when you get a shot at doing it. You're always gonna have a card in your hand you don't want, and you're like, here you go. Here's an extra 5 damage.
I just got to say, David Frank would be disappointed in all of you right now.
Usually I hate combat cards, but this is one I thought was decent.
No, I have to say I love them. Like you could play Roach, complete the link from the Scully set, and then you get to draw 2 combat cards. You get to draw that one and another one that allows you to split damage, and you can do some real damage to the opposing team. So
are we leaving point blank as is?
I like point blank. Oh well, with 5, I do agree.
5
is good. Yeah.
And we also have to say
up to 5 damage.
Yeah, and also specify which cards you can discard. If you have to discard, conspiracy cards.
So it should say discard any card from your hand to deal additional damage.
Yeah. Yeah, that way that eliminates any confusion, I think.
Yeah, because I was worried about whether I'd be able to eliminate on an active player's turn. Could I get rid of Margaret and throw another 2 on there?
All right,
I agree.
Yep,
martyred.
And that one, I think we should keep that martyred and attempted cover martyred and point blank. We have to keep them.
And then we could ditch the other 2. I can use alternative effects for them, but I can always bring those into a different expansion.
Yeah.
So we'll ditch the 2 combat TBAs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the martyred was kind of cool. I did like the idea of it. It's like it's getting rid of extra getting some cards if you do a little damage. That's stuff, and especially if you combine it with point blank, you can jump a hand. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Those 2 cards go great together.
Yeah,
so
that's why I thought they were great together. I had them both in my deck.
All right, moving on. Please be gentle. This is my baby.
I like it. I don't use it, but I like it. I think it's cool to get rid of a Kaleka or a Kresge. Yeah, stuff it on a Kresge. You're fine. I like it.
Yeah, my initial reaction to that card was it's great, but I was afraid that it would be used. I thought it would be too easy to just have that one RP agent that you could just get rid of, and it would not really alter your investigation. But I think during playtests, it didn't happen actually.
And it costs you 6.
Matt and I played when we first started having these printed, when Dax was sending me like version 1s. We were playing this game, and I actually did successfully get to put this on Kresge. The problem is Matt played Serotipidus freaking blah blah blah, and he stole it, and then he put it on one of his own agents, and then he sacrificed one of his own agents with my card. I was like, so there's potential for some dirty pool with this card, which is really why I like it.
Plus it's worth 6, so it is burn fodder. It is burn fodder with shotguns, buddy.
Right? Yeah.
The one thing that maybe, although if there is room for it on the card, it would be either you can only have 1 in your deck, or you cannot sell it for CP.
But I think the thing is, because if you're willing to throw somebody under the bus or under the vending machine, you're paying the 6 anyway. I should be able to go, I don't want to kill that guy. I'm going to go ahead and take the CP for him. I like the idea you can still have a 6 RP card that you can burn. I mean, the other one is, this doesn't like miraculously bring a guy back to life. It miraculously kills them. So
I think maybe what I want to avoid is us having too many 6 RP cards that you can sell, because you can have 2 shotguns, you can have 2 equipment, 2 vending machines, and then it's just maybe a little bit too easy to build your conspiracy.
But that's why you have to stay away from too close to the truth.
I think it might be missing a keyword though.
Yeah, killer. Yeah,
killer.
But here's the question on this.
But no,
you choose to kill your own. It's like a Patterson.
Yeah. No, I would not, because otherwise it's just too limiting. You're just willingly killing your own agent.
You're only killing your own. I don't think that it should be a killer card.
Although
Yeah, on that same logic though, explain assigned to the X Files. That's a killer card.
Yeah, and I don't
You're
believe I don't
adding
believe
an
that
agent
either.
to your team permanently. How is that a killer card? It's
But
because
it can only be after one. Well, we've had a discussion about
somebody's
what
dead,
that really
yeah.
means. Yeah.
But I think what it means, what killer literally means, is taking away or adding in a permanent manner, no matter what side of the field you're on.
Well, that I think Guillaume would certainly address your concern, at least about the CP, because you could only do it in killer games then, where you could have your, shotguns and multiple CP selling cards.
Yeah, it's true, but I mean, I think it's if you're looking at that expansion, I think the vending machine bomb is one of the most. I know it's one of the most important part of that expansion. It's the one that you will think of, and it would have been an ultra rare maybe if it had been commercially released. But I think it's such a great card that limiting it to killer, that's just too bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to keep it. I want to keep it as is. I personally think that you're choosing. It's like if I send Patterson out to attack your team and he dies, he's not a killer card. Otherwise, you couldn't play Patterson on the thing. You chose to kill him. If you choose, now I understand that goofy additional resources. I don't use it. But it's just like I don't think. I think if you plan on killing your own team member in a active vending machine retribution, I don't.
It's on you. Yeah.
You guys aren't trashing my baby. I'm happy.
No, I'm good.
And although we never used those keywords, but since it has the keyword standard, I would maybe put special because it's so different from other equipments.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's still field, so it doesn't matter. You put them on the field. That's why I like these equipment cards. Fields. That's the one thing. Being able to put them in the field. I don't want to wait and put them in my bureau, move my guys around. No, I like this. I want to go off and buy a cryopod from over at Home Depot and put it on my guy.
So the only changing standard to special, and that's it.
Yes.
And then I'll just say I like welding goggles.
Me too.
Although I don't think we got to play that, so I think that's good as is.
Yeah, welding goggles is good.
I think Steven says change the activator on yielding goggles.
It says active versus field. Oh, you want it in the field?
It needs to be field or bureau.
Change it to field.
Field, yeah.
I would just say field. You're buying them. Welding goggles are not exactly hard to find. Vending machines maybe a little harder, but
that could actually also use the keyword special. Welding goggles are not standard issue.
Neither is an alien vaccine.
No. I think standard and special is something that we have not taken really into consideration during the games. And
Cryopod is insane. Cryopod is awesome. I'm going to say that. It's really good being able to fully heal an entire team. We don't want to keep adding six cost RP cards though, because the cryopod being able to attach the discard to immediately restore full health to all members of that team. So all you have to do is stick them on a team and then just heal everybody at once.
So the cryopod, it costs 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, you were saying you didn't want to have a bunch of 6 costs.
Yeah.
I personally think it should cost more to heal an entire team immediately. It's very specific, but you're not going to run into that time all the time. But you go into a deadly blur, you play a cryopod. Now everyone can heal. Just go back to the hospital and just become a team.
What is the text on your card? Because it doesn't say that on mine.
It says attached to an agent in the field, discard the cryopod to immediately restore full health to all members of that agent's team.
Okay, so because the one I have is 4 as well, and attached to any agent in the field. The cryopod may only be removed when the agent is in the hospital. Remove and discard to immediately heal 2 points of damage.
Oh no, that's a different one than the one I got.
I think that might be an older version.
Yeah, that's an older version, yeah.
Oh yeah, so I think if it's discard to heal all damage, I think it's too powerful.
For 4, yeah, that was. It's awesome. I loved it.
And especially because the cryopod is for a single person only, so it would not make sense to use it to be able to heal everyone.
Well, Guillaume. Good point.
Can it just be retitled to cryopods? Because there's
They should,
there's like a ton of them on the ship.
Yeah,
true.
there you go.
So for the cost of 4, you would be able to heal all damage done to the team.
I think that's still a little low. I think 4, 5, or 6. But once again, we're getting that territory. Do you put it in your deck solely to burn it at some point? You can use it for healing, but you could use it to burn. Because that's a big part of this game, is having those high resource cards that you may or may not play, but you're going to use for CG generation.
Discard cryopod immediately restore full health. Oh, attach to immediately restore full health to
Oh, Nathan's on the move.
all members of the agent's team.
He's tired of sitting at the desk.
Well, the thing is, though, maybe when would a lot of damage tokens be placed on several agents at the same time? Usually, if it's combat, only one agent is targeted, so you discard the cryopod and that agent is healed. If you have some bluffs, it's like if you fail the side skill check, place 1 damage token on all agents on the team. So in that case, you would heal all agents, but it's only 1 damage token, so it's not like they would have been sent to the hospital anyway. So maybe the cost of 4, or maybe just 5, but maybe 4 is enough.
Maybe, because you could, in essence, if you wanted to, if you were going to, I mean, you could deploy to the hospital, I guess, and then just basically remove it, and just now everyone in the hospital is now full of health, and they just leave, because you're a team, and it doesn't matter where you are, you're a team.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so that's what I would do to break that, is literally I would put it on a guy the minute I had people who were in the hospital and could not come out until they were healed, because it is a healing card, right?
But you would have to have it equipped to the agent prior to them being damaged.
True. But
what about attached to an agent in the field before an agent is sent to the hospital because of damage in combat? Play this card to immediately restore full health to the team. So that way you're doing it in the field. It's making you intentionally play it in the field, and you can't play it in the hospital, once, because like you said, you've got everybody, you got all 5 of your agents in the hospital. That's a team. You just healed everybody for 4.
But you also have to take into consideration that if one of the agents is equipped with the cryopod, then maybe the opposing player won't target that specific agent during combat in order to avoid him being sent to the hospital.
He does, but the thing is, if I deploy to the hospital, I can deploy to the hospital next turn and get them all out immediately.
Yeah, but if you deploy the agent to the hospital, then for that turn that you deploy them to the hospital, that they cannot be investigating a site. So you are basically
that's a fair trade-off, though, isn't it?
Damage from. Because, granted, it's very particular to be able to go, but in theory, you could go and if Manitou got knocked out and you got everybody hanging out in the thing and can't heal until a healing card is played ×4. Or whatever, and you just happen to have Johnny, because Cools can go and get this, put it on himself, and then just sit around in the background, and then eventually just walk his way over to the hospital and just let everybody out. For 4.
It could happen.
Yeah.
It's a very extreme situation, but it could happen. But still, it means that if you've played the Manitou, I think maybe for 1 turn you've thwarted your opponent's investigation, and then during your opponent's next turn, he sends everyone to the hospital plus the agent to heal everyone. So basically, there is 1 turn where the investigating player doesn't do anything. So
versus an entire game, which is helpful, because if you have a Manitou and you don't have a healing card, you can literally deadlock somebody right there if they can't get to a healing card. They can't get resources because everyone's in the hospital. So
I think it's and it's also a good option for, like, if you have one of your agents that is sent to the hospital with the weaponized honeybee, you send another agent to the hospital who is equipped with the cryopod for 1 turn. He heals the agent, and then
at that point, I would probably just go with a crash card or something. But yes, I like the idea that you can heal everybody, but it seems like it is a little And that was the other thing. Stephen asked about the cryo tube, which is like it's I guess the sister card to this. But that is, does it do it permanently, or does it just like do it? Do I add 3 to skill?
Yeah, that is a question.
Right? And so, you know, if we're cutting cards, I think because cryo tube is problematic in its wording already, we could just axe that one potentially.
Yeah.
I like the effect, and that may, Mike, work its way into a different expansion with some tinkering. But
so all in favor of dumping cryogenic tube?
Yeah, yes, I got it. All right, I'd say get rid of it.
Now, for cryopod, I had thought of one option that could conceivably work for this to make it not so powerful, but also powerful enough that it's worth the cost. What if the cryopod was only inclusive to the agent that it was on? So instead of having the ability to take this agent over to the hospital and get everybody out of freaking jail, right?
Yeah.
It's just for the agent that it's attached to. Discard cryogenic or cryopod to instantly heal all damage assigned via combat. I don't know. That way.
That wouldn't be bad, but aren't there cards like that already?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I worry, like you said, man, like I know for a fact that I will do my damnedest given the opportunity, you know, I mean, and only for 4, you know who I'm going to put this on for 4? I'm going to put this on Kresge.
Why not?
I'm going to put it on Kresge and I'm going to forget about it, right? Until like 10 turns have passed. And all of a sudden, you know, somebody plays the mana tower, just takes out my entire team. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to send Kresge to the hospital, and boom, everybody's out of jail for 4. I think it's just too powerful.
I mean, we can do some more playtesting with this, another few games, and see if it.
Yeah, we haven't had an opportunity to actually make it work, but that's what I would do personally. That's what I would put it on the one guy that didn't go. Well, I mean, if you had it, put it on the one guy that didn't go to the hospital and go get it. But you've only got a couple of cards in the set that are going to send somebody there forever. Deadly Blur is kind of a pain in the butt. That's the healing half damage or whatever. Yeah, but everybody's in the hospital anyway. Equip him. All right. What about the next? What about the next one? How's that cryopod and cryotube treating you?
Well, do we do a landing on the cryopod?
So
we play it just as the hospital thing. Is that the consensus, or?
I think playing testing it wouldn't be a bad deal to try play testing it a little more to see if you could actually make it work in the way that I'm talking about. Because like I said, it's a very end around kind of way to do it.
What about just adding, because there should be a little bit of room still. This card cannot be played on any agents already in the hospital.
Well, it's the field anyway. You couldn't equip it on the people in the hospital anyway. You're talking playing it?
Yeah, playing it.
Yeah.
Because then you can't play it when you're in the hospital, which would prevent this.
But then I don't know how useful it is in the field because you're not really hurting a lot of people. I mean, you got a few people, if they're either hurting or they're in the hospital. So I guess,
I'd play it like, okay, we combat is, we're in the middle of combat. You just assigned a whole bunch of damage to my agents. Sweet. I'm going to play this equipment card now before they move to the hospital.
Yeah. But wouldn't it still have to be the requisition phase because it is equipment? It's not an instant play card.
Well, I mean, it would already be attached to the agent.
Okay. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Right. Because then I just play it real quick after damage is assigned before I move them over to the hospital and say, hey, they just all healed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gotcha. Because it's before they win.
Yeah.
I guess it would be able to like take it off before people left. But yeah, I mean, and that would combat every sort of, hey, you have to play it with a card that's going to go ahead and keep you in the hospital if you don't heal.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets you healed before you go to the hospital. So I guess that would work.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Just adding a line may not be played in the hospital or on an agent, may not be used on an agent currently in the hospital.
Yeah, I guess that would work. I mean, it does seem a little, I mean, I wouldn't probably play it as much at that point, just solely because I don't know how much I want to try to mass heal everybody in the field.
I mean, if you're going with what the cryopods actually are, they are part of the alien spaceship. So actually, it would make sense that you would not be able to actually take them
on the
to the hospital. So, like, only being able to use it while the agent is in the field to heal agents who are also in the field. I think it's faithful to the card.
Stephen did have another suggestion before, which is maybe we can replace the cryopod tube with the replace the cryopod effect with the cryotube effect. So in other words, so the cryopod would now say discard the cryopod to heal three health or something like that on the agent. I'm paraphrasing here, but that would be the basic effect.
Yeah. And as far as Alistair, you can. It says can only be used after success. Oh no, Jonathan, field activator. No, field activator is where you equip it. You can bring it around with you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you are when it happens. I could be in the bureau and heal everybody.
Is there any interest in the discard to add 3 health effect?
Yeah,
I actually like that. It's a lot simpler, and I mean, this
you don't heal
all your
everybody.
agents.
That's everybody. Yeah.
It's problematic to say the least, and I would be totally on board with just replacing that text, and then maybe in the future, kind of bringing back this idea in more of an appropriate way, maybe in an event kind of way or something. Yeah. It's something I think we can look at definitely, but I'm a fan of changing those two.
Okay.
So combining them, using the I really love the picture for the cryopod. So maybe use the cryogenic tube effect for that one.
Yep. So cryopod, Dax will say discard this card to add 3 to the agent's health.
Now, is that once again, is it above and beyond? That's the question. Are they going from 4 to 7, or are they just healing 4 health?
Yes, that's the question.
I think we would. I think it's supposed to be a temporary effect, right? We're not trying to increase their health permanently by 3.
So to increase until the end of the turn.
Or you could just say remove 3 wound tokens from.
Yeah.
From the agent or something like that.
I would say 2, not 3.
Well, it's already healing. It's already healing 3 anyway.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, so discard this card to remove 3 health tokens.
3 damage token from.
So how do you want to word that, Guillaume?
Discard to heal 3 damage token of the agent, or
on the attached agent.
Yeah. Well, I think the attached part. I think it's
a given because you're already discard to. It's stiletto.
Yeah, discard to. Yeah. Hold on. Discard to heal 3 points of damage from the agent.
Okay.
And that one you could also be in the hospital to do it. It's a healing thing.
Yeah.
You take it out, you finish it up. But it gets you out of the hospital faster, or it keeps you in the field. Because if you're dead, you just all right. I'm still alive and kicking because this pod you stuffed me in.
Right.
So the cost is what?
Still 4 or 3?
4 or 3?
Because both of them are 4.
Yeah, it would still be 4.
All right, 4. And the keywords, which keywords are we keeping?
Equipment, alien, healing.
Okay.
Yeah, and still, activator field still, right? Because it's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right. Ready to move on to the next one?
Just going back to welding goggles real fast. What are the keywords that you have on that card?
Keywords equipment. That's it.
Okay. And so it does say on the one that I have, discard the welding goggles to decrease the site prerequisite by 1. That's
yep, that's what we got to.
So should we say that the agent needs to be part of the team investigating the site or not? Like, could an agent in the bureau with the welding goggle discard to
Oh yeah.
I think it should be somebody who's investigating the site. I don't think I'm going to use my welding goggles to decrease any prerequisites if I'm trying to build a desk in the bureau versus whether or not I'm trying to burn into the side of a bank vault in the field.
Yeah, so because we would not want people to keep agents in the bureau and then say, okay, I'm discarding this card. The agent is safe in the bureau, but I'm still using that card to decrease the site prerequisite of the investigation.
So you guys are better wordsmiths than I am. So discard this card on an agent investigating a site this turn to decrease the site prerequisite.
Maybe while the agent is.
If the activator is field, does that mean it couldn't be used in the bureau? Or
no, it's just when it's just the phase that you have to. It's just where your agent has to be during requisition.
Oh, okay.
So maybe while the agent is part of the team investigating a site, discard the welding goggle too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Also, Dax, did you get on the weaponized honeybee that we need to add? This card does not initiate combat.
Nope.
I think we need to add that too.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of changes on that one, so can I pick that up with you afterwards?
For sure.
Okay.
Alrighty, so is it, we good with the cryopod thing?
Yeah, and about the compact digital binoculars, maybe increase the cost to 4. I think it's because you do need you get to look at your opponent's hand, and you also get to select one bluff that you can discard, and you get to choose which bluff as opposed to it being random.
Yeah, let's increase combat to compact digital binoculars. I agree to 4.
I say definitely 4 on that, because that's basically it's a hosting to look at, and then you're getting rid of a bluff. So I think I agree.
Okay. GPS tracker. Any issues with that?
It's expensive as hell, but it's great. I think it'll work out great. It'll be something I put in my deck so I can burn. But I like the idea of it being able to use 2 sites. You spent 6 to do it. Go investigate 2 sites.
Yeah. And
you have to discard it to do it. It's not like a cell phone where I can call and continue doing it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think looking at the existing equipment cards, I think most of them have either standard or special. So even if it's not really being used right now, I think like you have cards like compact digital binoculars who doesn't have standard or special, or so maybe we should add either one to your welding goggle and the binoculars just to.
And it's also, so it's not just you've got standard and special, but you've also got artifact, like alien artifact.
Yeah, because there are some cards like sometimes if the card has the keyword electrical, it's just sometimes it's just equipment or government, and sometimes it's equipment standard or special. But most of the time, standard or special are present on the card. And if we ever do something with those 2 keywords down the line, I think maybe it would be good to have it on those cards as well.
I agree.
So I mean, to me, I think I understand. Like to me, standard is it's a modifier to a skill, and special it's something that is different from that. Like it's do something like the vending machine bomb. It's special. It's not standard equipment. So, do you think what the compact digital binoculars should it be special or standard?
That I leave it up to you guys.
I would say standard. It's something simple that just adds to a prerequisite. I think it's standard.
So
is fine.
Plus standard, okay.
Yeah, I got them off Amazon. I did not get the alien virus vaccine off of Amazon.
Right.
That's an artifact.
That's the test for any of these cards. Who's a special or the standard? Well, can you get it on Amazon? That's not special.
And the welding goggle, they're standard as well.
Yeah. There you go. It's things I can buy at Home Depot to weaponize or to help myself. I can't weaponize honeybees at Home Depot.
Yeah. What about alien virus vaccine? Discard the alien virus vaccine to negate one alien adversary. Pretty simple.
I think it's fine. I think
Yep.
it's fine as is. It's
Yeah.
not something I'd play a lot unless I was playing Steven. But then again, he doesn't play a lot of aliens. He usually plays Primordial. But that's just him.
All right, last of the last here, the bluffs.
Stack bluffs.
Oh, and don't forget the witnesses as well.
Oh yeah, we got witnesses.
God,
Oh
that's
no.
right. Oh yeah, I forgot about
Quick,
that.
let's run through witnesses very quick so we can irritate Steven. Go.
So-
Barmaid at Cassidy's adds 1 to team's bureaucracy or alien investigation skill check.
So I'd say maybe have her modifiers match the site prerequisite for Casey's bar. That would be nice because and
That's fair. I agree with that. If Casey's bar, she's at the barmaid. I think that
Casey's
probably-
bar, observation and motive.
well
So
because
add
I think-
1 to the team's observation.
That's still a little low for.
well I think it's one of those cards that maybe I would just remove, just because
Barmaid? Yeah.
she does. Yeah, I mean it's nice that she's there, but currently alien investigation of bureaucracy. Yeah, I don't see alien investigation for her. And since we already have cards that we need to get rid of, I'd say even if we have add 3 observation, I'm sure there are witnesses that already do that. So
Are we burning the barmaid?
Burning the barmaid.
Burning the
Yeah.
barmaid.
She gone.
Buzz Miho.
Oh God,
So-
not him.
so-
Get rid of him. We
so-
don't like the event.
yeah, so we removed him as well.
Cody and Chris.
So I think it's a choice between them and Texas Trio, right?
Yeah.
I'd vote for the Texas Trio.
Yeah, because I don't see how many keyword questions. That was what I found. I didn't see a lot of keyword questions. In negate, this would pretty much work for Langley, Frohicke, X, evasive maneuvers. It would work, but it needs to go out early to even pay for itself.
Yeah.
So right now, you throw 3 down, you need to play 3 cards even to return that investment. So, yeah, don't burn the bar. Yeah, get out of here. Put her in 5. Put her in something else. Steven's like, don't burn the barmaid. I can come up with. He just likes the barmaid too much.
Yeah, but Steven, don't forget that we have to get rid of some cards.
You have to get rid of some cards. Yeah.
And to be fair, if you guys had voted to get rid of vending machine bomb, I would have cried. But
No. No.
I
never would have got rid of it.
No.
And in this card game, nothing is ever dead and can be
Yeah.
fit into another, even if it's a 9-card expansion for Fight the Future later on, we can still do it.
Yeah. So are we keeping Cody and Chris, or what are we doing with that?
I'd say keep the Texas Trio.
I say the trio, not Chris. Cody and Chris, I like the trio better.
I also really like the trio, but I think the Cody and Chris effect with a little bit of tinkering, maybe in a later expansion too.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe with with a third keyword that is seldomly used.
What's question anyway? I did not. How many things are those newer cards that have question on them?
No, I think Deep Throat has question.
Yeah, I know, but that's not. It's really not enough to return.
And
when you guys say the trio,
Texas Trio.
Actually, yeah, there are 6 cards that have the keyword. More than that, actually.
I don't see that card.
Texas Trio.
Add 3 to anyone's team's alien investigation, observation, or subterfuge skill check.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
Yeah, that one's fun. I like that one. It gives 3 to any ones, and it's like, but it's here's the question: do you discard it? Oh yeah,
yes.
It's not a resource.
Yeah. It's not a resource. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that as a whole because it gives you a lot of flexibility. It costs you 4 to do it, but it gives you 3, so you're essentially going to guarantee that you're going to be able to pass a skill check.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah,
well, that's weird. I don't have that card for some reason in this set. It didn't get added to my set.
It was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Are we dumping these 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're just dumping this card?
Yeah. There's just 2 of them. There's not 3.
Okay.
All right. Who's next?
Dr. Alvin Kurtzwell?
Nothing wrong with that one.
I don't see anything wrong with that. I like the idea that you can play him for free with Bill Mulder. It basically it's very specific, but at least to play for free. And it's like,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
I like it. It's fine.
Ben Braunschweig. Braunschweig.
Yeah.
Well, other than
I-
his weird alien typo, but there's an arrow pointing to it. So it's a little arrow.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
I seen it.
Braunschweig is a witness. I don't know. He's got more of a bluff flavor to me, but
I'd say I think his effect is fine, but if we have to get rid of some cards, I say this one is pretty basic. So
yeah, I mean, I'm fine with dropping that because we've dropped the other ones that have the similar effects, and it's nothing special.
Yeah.
So I'm all for dropping
all right.
Ben here.
Who else we got?
Medical technician.
I like him. He's nice.
Yes.
He's good. He's perfect.
Yeah.
I like the idea that he can heal some people.
Yeah,
Throw
it's
him out
nice.
there. Yeah, it's nice that he can do that.
All right. The chauffeur.
Chauffeur, I'm not sold, but it's not horrible, and it's a resource though.
Yeah.
But it's like so this is what's weird about it. It's a resource if you want to put it on the table and just have it sit around there and prevent Mulder from being affected by a keyword conspiracy card. And then you would just destroy it, I'm assuming, at that point, once it happened. Because it's weird. It's got a resource, but yet it says play.
But so basically, I think so. If we only take the first part of the effect, so you play it and then you can add 3 to yeah. Oh yeah,
because it
I
says
see what you mean.
or, so you got to play, and if you play it to add, that's done. It's not a resource anymore. But if you
I think you have to remove the resource keyword.
Yep.
And maybe add subterfuge as a keyword.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, you'd add subterfuge as a keyword, but you also, if you're looking at the chauffeur, what does he end up doing? So it's like, okay, either A, I play it and get the immediate 3, or I play it as a resource so that he protects Mulder.
Well, it would not be a resource if he protects Mulder. It's just like.
But it would have to sit on the table and remain on the table. It's a witness that sits and stays.
Well, not if you remove the keyword resource.
Well, it says to prevent Mulder from. Yeah, I guess you could play it as a response, but that's like an event. So
sure.
You see the typo on that thing?
What? No.
Second line, first word.
Oh. Second it's subterfuge. Yes, it is subterfuge. It's subterfuge. Now, what would be funny is there will be people out here that will grab onto that and say, you know what? He does not. It says subterfuge. Guess what, Jerry? It's the moops. The moops.
Yeah. Sorry, Bubble Boy. Yeah.
Sorry, Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy.
Yeah, Mike, we're going to sue you because you did a bad job at FileFest. No, I attended PhilFest.
PhilFest.
I have proof.
PhilFest. Oh, here we go. We got to get it. There we go.
So for the chauffeur, we're just removing the resource keyword?
Yeah, maybe add subterfuge instead, because it's always nice to have more keywords to be able to generate res or to.
Yeah. So chauffeur, remove resource, add subterfuge for keyword.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Steven, listen to this one. I like this card, even though it says alien investigation on it. I like this card. It gives you conspiracy points instead of, I like that little twist. It is good. The well-manicured man, you can't go wrong with him. I think he's perfect.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Alien and government, it's perfect because that's exactly what he's doing. And he's throwing conspiracy. It's perfect for me because I'm a conspiracy player anyway.
Yeah.
I like the idea that you can throw it in your, it's a resource card, but you can throw it into your CP. I like it. There we go.
It's
that's
perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Moving on to bluffs.
Yes.
The last but not least, the bluffs.
Stevie.
Stevie.
Oh yeah. So I think Stevie, we do need to switch the two effects. We first have to say play to allow alien adversaries to attack agents and/or witnesses, ignoring activator requirements, and then in addition increase the applicable health of all keywords alien adversaries.
Yes, I agree. I kind of agree with that. And the fact is, he's really, it's going to cost a lot to make it work. You're playing the 4 or the 3 because it's face down, odds are. And then you can use it. But that's actually really good. Oh, we're losing people.
But
there he is.
Nope, sorry, I gotta plug in.
Uh-oh. But yeah, Stevie I do like. I think Stevie's cool. I can't see using him a ton. Unless you're just alien heavy in your deck and you're going to be able to pull it off.
So the only issue I have with that card is basically we have the alien experience bluff card from the Scully set, and it's play to provide the keywords necessary to play any one keyword alien adversary, and it costs 4.
Yeah, and this one's cost 4, and then it also gives him more attack boost. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think either increase the cost by 1, and so that way you get the added benefit of increasing the health by 2. But the thing is, you really also have to, as I said, switch the 2 effect, because since it says in addition, if you play, for instance, the weaponized honeybee, it doesn't have any health, so you would not be able to use the second part of the effect if the health spot comes first.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
So,
but yeah, that would allow you to be able to, for 5. I think 5's a good number for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's going to cost you 4 flip down. So.
Yeah.
Dax, are you there with us?
Oh, someone has kidnapped Dax. Where are you? Blink twice if you're okay. Did you fall on the floor? What's going on with you?
I don't know. It's like almost midnight there, I think, isn't it? Yeah, it's like after midnight.
It's 10. It's 10:15. Yeah, because it's 11:15 here. So
we're almost done now. That's good. We're almost done.
We're just the last of them here.
Yeah, I think it's the way to go about revising those cards, and as opposed to going back and forth on Discord, because that way we can get things done more quickly.
Yeah.
Let's real quick, because I think this is an easy one.
Sure.
As cool as these are.
Oh yeah.
I agree. Yeah, we need to get rid of them.
There's no viable way. Like, even if we had new things printed, it would be so problematic that, I mean, we'll have these, and this is a cool idea, but as far as the official set, I think they need to go bye-bye.
Yeah.
But I think at some point we do need to have a full new set, new checklist with all new X-Files from season 4 through.
I think added stuff is
Absolutely.
cool, but added X-Files is definitely cool, but it's definitely not this one.
All right. Dax, welcome back. Guillaume's going to kind of tell you what we need to do with Stevie real quick.
I'm going to just maybe put it in the...
Oh, type it in?
Yeah, that would be easier.
All right.
What was the... my internet fell off, so I got as far as the well-manicured man being discussed.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome. We're fine.
Yeah,
cool.
we're good on him.
Yeah, he's good. I like him. He's my buddy.
So,
Guillaume's...
he's typing up the thing right now, but the one thing that we are doing
for Stevie,
Stevie's going to be 5.
You onto bluffs, yeah?
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, with Stevie was 5, and I think he was going to juxtapose the first and second effects.
So
it makes more sense.
Yeah. All right, next one we got attempted cover up.
So I think maybe say the site is discarded instead of saying the site is negated, and and I think that's it.
Because that's essentially a bumped up Tanaka with a the other one. What's the other one that you get rid of a single card? Yeah, it's not bad for 3. But it's literally a bumped up Tanaka.
I'd say though that maybe the cost of 4 and 3, since if it's face down, maybe it's a little cheap.
Low. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because you're losing a card as well as stopping the site investigation.
So
bump that one up to 5.
I would have maybe gone as high as 6, but at least 5. At least 5.
Yeah, I think
I would do 5 because it is a 4+ skill check.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's 3+. Yeah. I think it's appropriately costed. But.
Okay, so attempted cover up to 5.
Yeah,
resource.
that's what I think too.
5 and discarded instead of negated.
Yep.
Perfect. Next. Oh, wow. Oh, that's wise because man, I have some original.
So you didn't have to print them out like us plebeians.
So personally, Gone to Hell is one of those bluffs that I think it is really specific and it's useless if the opponent does not have the alien virus vaccine. And knowing that bluff exists makes me not too inclined to use that card. So they kind of cancel each other. So maybe I would remove Gone to Hell or change the effect completely. But
yeah, I kind of agree with you because it's only one and it basically will. Yeah, it says.
I agree. It's way too hyper specific. No one's ever going to play it. I mean, like sometimes when I play Steven or whatever, I kind of have an idea of what team he's going to choose, so I might go into it with that. But you have absolutely no way of knowing if your opponent is going to have literally just one specific random card in their deck that they're going to at some point hopefully get to play. So it's just too niche.
I think when using effects like that, you do have to have first a more general effect, and then you have that added specification of if your opponent has this specific card, it does that instead, or maybe the cost is reduced. But having the card does not cancel the whole card. So yeah, I think removing that one,
burn?
Maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, burn.
I will say Steven has been really, really good with tailoring his cards in his expansion when they're when they have a general effect and a more specific effect.
Yeah.
He's got that balance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really well,
Conrad Strughold.
That one is problematic.
It's problematic. It's an awesome card, but man, I never want to see it again.
No, you know what? During playtest, I was more than halfway through my deck, and I think I've managed to play it 3 times against David because it kept coming back and I kept playing it. So
play to increase all skill checks performed by the team at this site by 4. Jesus.
Yeah.
If your opponent is able to successfully make every skill check, remove Conrad Strughold from the game. If one skill check is failed, the site is discarded. Return Strughold to your bureau deck and shuffle. Jesus.
Yeah,
each player may only have 1 copy of this in their decks. I would say instead of putting him back in your bureau deck, that he's just discarded.
Throwing him in the garbage. Yeah, that's pretty much I think they
so
with
that. I had because I was trying to come up with an alternate game effect for that specific card because I think he's a big character, he's a big part. So I was thinking maybe instead of making him a bluff, maybe make him an event resource for the conspiracy player. And specifically the quote that Dax chose, that you guys chose, it's like he's talking about maybe playing both sides and maybe playing the alien to his advantage. So I'm going to put in the chat the card that I came up with. So I don't know if it would be good or not, but that was my idea. So it would be a resource card.
Play this card in your field. While in play, you may discard any 1 alien or alien investigation card to play keyword government cards for half cost, rounded up.
Which would mean that, it means that, you have struggled there. And if you want, you can stack up your deck with some sites or some alien cards, and then you could play alien adversary for half cost. You could play alien conspiracy cards for half cost, which should kind of show how Struggle is trying to use the alien to his benefit.
So would that be like for the rest of the turn? So you would discard or is that?
Resource. I think it'd be a resource.
So, for instance, if you want to play the Crooked Man, you just discard an alien or alien investigation card first, and you play the Crooked Man for half cost. And then
this would happen each time you wanted to play a government card. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I think that needs to be clear on there, but otherwise, I like that effect.
Yeah. I don't like his 4 because that's a brutal card to keep coming up over and over again for 6. Yeah. And it's like for 5, it's like it's everything's 4. Yeah. And especially if all the bluffs are supposed to be exposed at the same time and paid for at the same time. Don't get me started on that.
No.
Guillaume, can you maybe do a mock-up of that one
Sure. Yeah.
as an event, and we'll just
Yeah.
kind of see what it looks like. We'll put this one on the side and just
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Crossroads.
Crossroads.
Play this card to increase the site prerequisite by X. X equals the total value of the opposing team's observation skills.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it, but it's still it's very specific. But
I don't know. Usually they have, an opposing team, unless it's the focus of their deck, they're going to have at least an errant 1 or 2 observation on the team.
Oh, yeah.
So.
No, that's true. So for 4,
I like it.
And if you get lucky and you get a team that's really high on observation, it's a bargain.
Yeah.
And I mean, if the team only has 1 or 2 observation, then at least it can be still detrimental, but you have to play another bluff or another card maybe to really counter the investigation.
At that point, I probably would, if I saw that their observation was nil, I probably, even if 1 or 2, I don't know if I'd trade the 4 for the 1 or 2.
Or sometimes it can make a difference.
I would just not. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Definitely, it does. So
it looks like it actually worked in one of our playtest games that we increased the prerequisite to 10.
Yeah.
Using that card, so it's pretty solid.
Well, the thing is, I think all but Misho, all of the agents from Fight the Future have observation. So if you play a Fight the Future expansion and you play test, especially, you will have those agents in play. So that bluff will be especially useful. But in other games, it depends. It's situational, but it can work, and it cannot, just like many other cards.
Yeah.
And the picture is great.
I'm a fan of keeping it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm fine with it.
All right, 2 more of my babies here. The Wrong Building.
I like it. I think it's neat being able to move sites. I like that. Yeah.
Force your opponent to swap the attached site with another site anywhere in the field. If no other site is available, the attached site is discarded. 4/5.
Yeah, and you're spending 4 to do it. You're spending 5 to do it face up. I think it's worth it to do it just to move people around. So.
And then
just to be sure, because we have cards like Travel Plan from the Scully set, and so those sites are not considered to be in the field while they are under Travel Plan, correct?
I don't think so. I think Travel Plan, that's in their own little resource bin of cards that are sitting there.
And with this one as well, the Wrong Building, wouldn't we want to add a keyword move?
Yeah, I would. Because that would help out with anybody who has that move keyword.
Yeah, and you're literally moving 2 sites. You're switching them, so.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I mean, it's not going to hurt anything by having it. I mean,
no.
And then last but certainly not least.
I got 2.
Oh, you got 2? Yeah. Wow.
I got unmarked helicopters, and then I got ambulances again.
Oh, wow. So unmarked helicopters force any team investigating the site to split up for this turn. You may pick 1 agent and move them to another site, your choice, immediately. If no other site is available, that agent is moved to the bureau and may not contribute any skill checks this turn.
Perfect.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
It's another section chief. What's his nuts? I always forget his name. But yep.
What's the other one that you have left?
I have 2 government ambulances.
Oh, there are. I think we are keeping the event version.
Yeah, these are both bad anyway. I thought they were. I didn't like either one of them. One was too good, and the other one was very gimmicky. It's like the flipping the cards over. He goes to the hospital if it's a conspiracy, or he goes to the bureau if it's a conspiracy. Or I thought he was silly.
Well, I'll throw this out there. I did. I liked the flip a card effect. I'm sorry, Dave.
Oh, Yappy?
Yeah. I have to say I did too. Yeah.
So here's a alternative card I did. to replace the government ambulance.
Okay.
So it kind of is the same thing. Select an agent in the investigating team. Your opponent reveals the top card of their bureau deck. If they're RP, the agent goes to the bureau. CP, go to the hospital. No effect if the card is a dual.
Purple.
Okay.
Purple,
Now
yeah.
you don't do anything with the card. You just flip it over. It's not
Right,
discarded.
it stays there. The card stays there. You just flip it over, and based on what the cost is,
Right. Well, I don't mind that. I just thought, it was just literally like, okay, well, this 5 just makes somebody go somewhere, and one of those places might be the hospital where they don't contribute resources, but that's the only negative I could see to going to the hospital. You can still redeploy later. You just know you're not using their res stuff during resources.
Yeah. Well, I guess
so-
that's an interesting question. Does it have to say that they don't contribute their skill if they move?
I think it's implied that they cannot contribute.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, if they're gone, I don't think they contribute at all.
Yeah.
It's like they don't have a cell phone or anything like that, unless
Right.
they had a cell phone. Then I guess it would be kind of a moot point. Yeah, the other one is play on an agent that is about to be moved to the hospital, and that's the one with the escort card. That's more like the other one. It says at the beginning of the third turn. Yeah, that's basically another event card.
And it would not make as much sense as a bluff because you would not be able to. Well, you would be less inclined to play it face down, not knowing what will happen.
Well, and that was the big debate that we had with the whole bluff thing anyway, was because the thing is I will probably not play more face down bluff cards, because if they're going to be immediately turned up, and then and then if you pay for them all and then Langley just makes his move at that point and goes, I get rid of the most expensive one. It's like, all right, well, that just kind of screwed my entire plan. So, but that's just, like I said, that's just me.
So Nathan, the idea that you proposed would we use the same picture for the code?
I was thinking there's that scene where Scully is being loaded into a helicopter or whatever. I mean, that was when I biomedical evac. That was kind of the line for that. But Dax, you're really good at tailoring cards like that. So I would let you, however you want to fashion that, or we could pick a different name for it too. I just thought, since we're moving people around, this was kind of a natural point to.
Well, the nice thing is, I just did the count. So Yam, you're going to work on the change for the Gone to Hell card.
Yes.
With that and the rest of the cards that we've adjusted and worked, and with the card that you're going to be working on, Nathan, that puts us exactly at 50.
Oh, nice.
I think that's a nice, perfect round number for the expansion. So
and Dax, you said that it was 54 max, but it could be less than that, correct?
Yeah, I think the print run is 55 in total.
So does that mean that we could have a Mulder and Scully promo card? Agent cards with their picture from the movie? I think that, like, if that was a commercially released expansion, that there would have been ultra rare Mulder and Scully using updated pictures, like we did with season 4, and Steven is going to do the same thing for season 5. So I think we should have them if there is room for it.
Yeah, I think the print run is 55. I was looking at 54 because of the cover art.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's
You got
definitely.
that.
There's definitely room to do
I
something.
think so. So that would put us at 52, and we could still have the cover art, and then B. Honestly, I'd like all of us that worked so hard on this, especially like when I kind of had to take a step back, and you guys really took the torch on this and really made these cards are amazing. I'd like us all to get credit on that card too. As just something we all did together. So.
And Dax, didn't you share a Micho killer card on Discord at one point?
Ta-da!
Ooh.
Yeah, there's your promo card right there.
That was one from FileFest, or at least that's where I came from. But yeah, that's the last guy I had sitting in the deck. I wasn't gonna bring him out until somebody mentioned him.
I can't remember what I did that for. Did I put that as like a promotional, like a promo card?
I think you did. I don't know if you brought it to. You gave it to me at FileFest. So, but that's the one.
Okay.
Come here, Michelle.
So that's knocking around somewhere, isn't it? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. That puts us exactly at 54.
Yeah, that's like 50, 3 promos, 1 intro card. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, so I'll work on refining that last government ambulance into
And I'll work on the Conrad Struggle alternate card. We'll see if you like it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming and hanging out for a couple hours while we kind of work through some of this stuff. I can't wait to get these adjusted and get a new set and do some more playtesting games. And again, want to thank you guys for really stepping up and helping me out with this when everything was kind of starting to go to crap, and I had to take a step back. So it's awesome.
Sure.
It's awesome that we're so close to having these good to go. So anything else? Anybody else want to say anything before we all sign off? And
Just thank the folks watching for contributing to Stephen, David, Alistair, Jonathan. If there are others, I don't mean to miss you, but thanks for your contributions in the comments. Appreciate it, and this is all going to help make this better. So that's cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk soon, guys, and we'll see you all next time on Mike and Matt's X-Files CCG.
See you later.
Bye.
See y'all.